Hello, everybody, and welcome to the... Okay.
We're going
Okay, never
over
mind.
again. We're doing it again.
We're doing it a second time.
We're going
that's
to
enough
the
of that.
second time. Okay.
We're doing it live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another chaotic episode, I guess, of Kaiju.
Nope. Not this time. Not this time.
The
Nope.
weekly,
The Chaos Lords got sent
the
home.
weekly live stream podcast that introduces you to the wide world of giant monster movies and all the news in the wide world of giant monster movies. I'm the host, Travis Alexander, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Michael Hamilton.
Hello, listeners with Kaiju-tude.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Perfect.
Okay.
And me without my soundboard.
And yes, good. And also with me on the top row is Elijah Thomas.
What's poppin', y'all? I hated that. I'm
No- never
Yeah,
again.
let's not do that again.
Never
That
say
was
that
no.
again.
humor even
No.
for you.
No.
There is a myriad of reasons why you should never say that again, Elijah.
And also joining us today is Danny DeMana.
Yes.
Oh, look at there, it's all Danny boy. Look
Down
at,
here.
look at
Now, I will have you know this time, because the last time we all streamed together, things got a little bit out of hand. I've grabbed a squeaky hammer, and every time I have to whack it, that means we've gone too far and we've got to
Things-
retreat. We've got to
things
pull
got
back.
a little bit way
Bit
out of
police,
hand,
yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Things got way out of hand. I can promise you there will be no into the void this time.
And
Roll there.
also
None of that.
joining us this
Yes.
week.
That applies
late-
just as much to you, Michael.
There he is,
as
Nathan Marchand.
always,
Power.
Nathan Marchand.
With his
Glad I'm here.
Wait. So he
With it-
doesn't talk when when we introduce him, but when we're introducing him, he talks.
Makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
With his little
Priorities.
chin, with his little headphone necktie that he's got going on there.
Mhm.
It's like a stethoscope. Dr. Marchand
does-
is in the house.
Dr.
He does.
Nathan
Marchand.
Marchand. That's like
I've
Doogie
had
Howser.
people tell me I should go get a
Nathan
PhD
Nathan
several
Hauser.
times. So
Doogie Marchand.
It looks like he's wearing a bonnet.
a bonnet.
Looks like he's
And-
wearing a
Bonnie
bonnet.
In
A
the
bonnet
chat
bonnet.
with us, we have the Queen herself,
The queen of the fabulous empire.
Kaiju Kim. Let's see how long it takes for Michael to get canceled tonight.
I guarantee. Listen, I
No.
guarantee you, Kim.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
I
So-
will be on my best behavior. I assure you.
So
Uh-huh.
what we
Yeah,
should
yeah,
do,
yeah.
what we should do is, you know, the song "Everybody Have Fun Tonight."
Everybody have fun tonight.
Let's rewrite it.
Everybody Wang Chun
So-
tonight.
Let's rewrite it. Everybody get canceled tonight.
Doesn't-
All right, and the sound effects. We also have in the chat our friend Alec. Life is lovely, all the way from the great state of Hawaii.
Aloha.
He's saying it will not take long for Michael to get canceled.
Oh, it's already happened.
Yep. And then we also have our friend Donnie Winter.
Donnie.
Donnie,
Donnie
hope
Winter.
Hey,
that your
Donnie,
show.
I need to catch up on your show. I'm behind.
Yes, you
Yeah,
do.
I was just going to say, I hope that everything went well on your show, because I know that your show comes on in live streams just a little bit before ours. So I hope it all went well on your end.
Kim, can we cancel Nathan for not listening to Danny's show or Donnie's show? Can
I
we do that?
concur. Everybody in
We-
favor, vote
Yeah.
aye.
I
Nay. But do the rest of you listen to Donnie's show every time?
I do. I
And look at this,
do.
Michael. Yeah, I thought you were
You
going to
know-
have everything already going for us. We do not have our ticker going. We do not have the banners and stuff going. We don't have any of
Wow.
that going.
It's okay. We got our lovely personalities, and now I'm
Hi,
gone.
Elijah.
There you go. There
It's
you
been
go.
replaced with
My fish is
graphics.
gone. The fish is back.
The fish has to make a cameo. That's
It does.
Yeah.
I've
does.
decided that the fish
Speaking
is
of
named
cameos of
Casey.
inanimate objects, I have something I want to show off before we get into
Don't talk about your
everything.
cat like that, Travis.
Yeah, I know, right? It was around here.
Just because
Uh,
her name is Daisy doesn't mean she's an actual flower, okay?
I'm going to live on stream show off my giant worm.
Oh boy.
Strike
Wait,
one.
wait,
Strike one.
we're
Strike
keeping it
one.
PG.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. It's in now. I have a good frame of reference for. Listen, there's no way I can say this eloquently for the audio listeners. I'm just going to let you explain what you're holding. Just do it.
So for
That's
anybody
a
who's
big
listening
worm.
on audio, and I do promise to actually post the audio this week because I haven't been actually. This is a model of a graboid from Tremors that I have painstakingly modeled myself. It is my first sculpture that I've ever done. So for being my very first sculpture, I'm actually very proud of how it turned out.
You should be,
Nice,
dude.
nice.
It looks great.
Yeah,
This-
you should. Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, you did a better job than I could have.
Yeah.
That worm is quite
I agree,
remarkable.
Nathan. No, I'm just
I am very impressed. I am impressed with how girthy that worm is.
It's got a lot of girth.
Dude!
Like
He's
look
my
at
big
look at
boy.
the tip. Look at the tip of it. Like that's
He's my big
gnarly.
boy.
Oh,
It's really, and you said because you and I, Travis, we're both sculptors. We're both artists, and this is I can't believe this is the first time you've done something on this scale, and it looks that good. I went to school for sculpting 1,000 years ago, and you told me that you picked this project specifically because of the kind of the lumpiness of the shape that's naturally in the character,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant as a first choice for a first sculpture because it plays with the level that you're at when you're sculpting it, and it just works.
Yeah.
And a
I
lot of
didn't have
people
to-
pick
I
they
didn't have
pick
to
up
worry
more
about
than they can
smoothing
chew.
it out.
Yeah.
I could leave it lumpy and bumpy because they are lumpy and bumpy in the movie.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to worry about modeling any eyes and worrying about eyes. That was
Yeah.
another thing. I
so
was
is
really
his name Lumpy or Bumpy?
Yes.
Or
happy-
Kim,
I don't
don't
have
let
to
me
name for it.
forget. Kim, don't let me forget. I will if left to my own devices, I will end up forgetting it. I want to take this to G-Fest so bad. I'm going to bring it to all my panels. Everyone's
I
going
was
to.
going to say, are you going to hit me with that when we're presenting on Atragon?
Danny, I'll give you $5 to hit him.
I will do it for free because of how
I
much
will
I
do it
believe
for
in the
10.
cause.
I
No,
will buy you a special gift at G-Fest if you just whack him as hard as you can with that hammer.
I'm not gonna assault Nathan at
Hey, no, here's the problem. If he does that, my thick skull will break it.
Who says I was aiming for the who says I'm aiming for the skull, Marchand? That's all I'm gonna say. That's presumptuous on your end.
Anyway,
Mine-
You're going to have to work
Anyway,
hard
to wrap
sell.
off, Travis, a lot of like what I was saying was that a lot of sculptors bite off more than they can chew with their first project because their eyes are just bigger than their ability to get it done. I think you picked the perfect what I'm trying to say is I think you picked the perfect project, and it really does look amazing. Like
It really is beautiful.
It's
Like,
really a beautiful sculpture.
thanks.
all jokes aside, it really is beautiful.
You went at it in
Congratulations.
a very smart way, and the end result is really, really good.
yeah,
I'm
thanks.
impressed, man.
I was really happy with it. I did not mean for it to be as big as what it turned out. I just don't know how to scale things yet because I'm still new to sculpting. So I sculpted the head and I was like, no, the body needs to be bigger. And so
Yeah.
it just ended up taking
Yeah.
2 pounds of clay.
And this
to
is
make-
and this is oven baked Sculpey you used, yeah?
yeah, this is oven baked Sculpey.
Okay.
The whole thing is other than I used armature wire and
Mhm.
aluminum foil for the base,
Mhm.
and I do plan on painting it. It's gray right now, but I do plan on painting it, and it's probably going to sit on my shelf just like this. I'm going to have the DVD or Blu-ray of Tremors.
Oh,
What
just kinda
what you
sit
should
there.
do
that's a
is
good idea.
buy a steelbook version.
Oh yeah, that's what I need
Yeah.
to do.
Get the okay, so
Every year that the new Tremors movie that unfortunately comes out, Walmart puts out a new steelbook every
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
And so next time that it comes out, like in like a year, just buy another one. Or just
I
buy
actually
one.
haven't heard about a new one in a while. So
Or
I
you
wonder-
can just get the Arrow release.
Does
Oh,
the
wait,
Arrow
the
version
Arrow
have a
release was the one
steelbook?
I was thinking of.
actually, I don't think Universal has the rights anymore because I'm pretty sure they finally reverted back to Stampede Entertainment.
Oh, but yeah,
Interesting.
Tremors has always been one of my favorite American monster movies. It's actually one of the few monster movies that my mom actually really likes. So that was something. Godzilla was my dad's thing with me, and then growing up, Tremors was my thing with my mom. So
So,
Yeah.
just out of curiosity, what's your next project going to be?
So I had talked about maybe jumping into the Harryhausen like catalog because really, so my point on the, and I don't want to spend too much longer on this, but the reason I started sculpting these things is because I can't afford the really nice, Star Ace, like, the just absolutely fantastic and beautiful figures and statues and stuff. So I was like, well, I'll just make my own of some of my favorite monsters, since I can't afford them. So I want to get around to doing the Harryhausen monsters because I love Harryhausen so much. But I think, just like Danny was talking about, not biting off more than I can chew, since I'm still learning to sculpt, I might go with something that's still a little bit bumpy and textured and stuff, and doesn't mind, doesn't matter if it's not symmetrical or anything, or smooth, and doesn't have eyes. I might go with the Rose version of Biollante.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I might do
Okay.
that
I
next.
was gonna suggest doing an Arrakis sandworm, but
That could also work.
I'm
But
not a huge Dune person. Like, I like the new movies, but I like.
well, I was just suggesting it because it would be, it would be
Right.
a good, it wouldn't be too much different than doing a
No,
grab.
I shared that on Facebook, and somebody said praise Shai Halou or however the
Muad'Dib.
yeah.
Also, I just want to interject here and just do a breaking news announcement. Travis, because we all love you, you will be receiving the Arrow 4K release of Tremors in the mail via Amazon.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So there you go.
Wow. What? So, man, whoever did that must be like the coolest person on the stream or something. Like,
Yeah.
that's
True.
insane.
Like maybe
And
he's the Chad of the
absolutely
group.
cannot be canceled after that.
Yeah.
He's
getting
that's why he did it.
uncanceled.
That's why he did it. Now he's cancellation proof.
That's right.
Everybody.
I did one
to-
nice thing, and now I'm cancellation proof.
That's right.
We do have to give a shout out to Oscar Solis. How's it
Oscar!
going, man? So, yeah. But anyway, that's enough about me and my stuff and my giant worm. Let's get into the actual news for this week, and we have a sound bite to go along with that, don't we?
Is it a bite or is it a beady beady?
Beady.
It is actually a queuing of the Beady Beady.
And our top story this week is the one that I've been most excited about. It is the Pluto TV Godzilla channel. Like,
which has been playing for 2 days, and it's on my television.
yeah, it's just like it's never leaving. I was telling so for anybody who doesn't know, Pluto TV is basically an internet cable. Let's say it that way.
Basically.
It's live television through the internet. They have different channels. They have like a Transformers based channel. Tokusatsu is on there. They have a Riff Tracks and a Mystery Science Theater 3000. They have news channels. They have sports channels. They have all kinds of stuff. But the thing is,
discovered they
live.
have one that's dedicated just to Sailor Moon, and
Mhm.
like every anime franchise has their own channel on there. That's nothing but that 24/7.
Yeah, and so it's just, that's the thing. They're live. They play 24/7, and you just tune into them, and what's playing is playing, and they have commercials. But hey, that's okay. The commercials aren't that bad because they're actually shorter than what you get on regular television.
Right.
And so that's what Pluto is. And Pluto TV launched a channel that will be airing 24-hour Godzilla content, and they do have some stuff on demand. And the films that are included in that are Godzilla 1954. This is Gojira, the original one. Godzilla Raids Again, Rodan, Godzilla King of the Monsters, the 56 American version. Mothra versus Godzilla, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, Invasion of Astro Monster. Subtitled, because I just watched that the other day. It is subtitled. Some of these are dubbed, some of them are subbed. I don't know how they decide which ones are which, but Anyway, Abra, Horror of the Deep, War of the Gargantuas, Son of Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters Attack, Godzilla vs. Hedorah, Godzilla vs. Gigan, Godzilla vs. Megalon, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, Terror of Mechagodzilla, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, Godzilla vs. Mothra, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, Godzilla vs. Destroya, Rebirth of Mothra 1, 2, and 3, Godzilla 2000, Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters, All Out Attack, Hashtag Justice for Baragon, Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, Godzilla Tokyo SOS, and Godzilla Final Wars. That's what they have right now. They
Wait. I thought they had Return in 84 and 85 too.
Not on demand.
Not on demand. That's
Oh,
the
not on demand.
But
Okay.
that's what I was fixing to say. The 84, 85 is available, is going to be playing on there. Also, they have the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla series that will be playing, and the 98 Godzilla series that will be playing, as well as the Godzilla 98 movie that will also be playing. So
it's basically everything but King Kong versus Godzilla.
Basically.
Everything but King Kong versus Godzilla and the Monsterverse.
Yeah, and Shin.
And the
And
Ray
Shin.
was, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just basically almost all of Showa, all of Heisei, with a couple of on-demand exemptions, and then all of Millennium. It's basically the whole shebang, except one movie, and that is impressive as all get out.
Right.
They've
And
been able to do that.
The most interesting thing about this story to me is the announcement. In the announcement, it listed all of the, I think it was all the Heisei movies as quote unquote exclusives. And they have both 85 and Return of Godzilla. Which
that's a lie. That's a darn dirty lie. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that's what it said.
You know why it said that? Here's why it said that. It said that because that's what the Kraken Blu-ray says on the cover. And the Kraken Blu-ray was sold as Godzilla 1984 and Return of Godzilla. And I think it confused them because there's been no indication that they've cleared the rights for the actual 85 version. If they did, that is the biggest news out of all of this.
Okay, can anyone tell us if Godzilla 1985 has played on this channel?
I don't think so.
I don't think they've even played 84.
That they were supposed to have both versions. I'm on Nathan's side of this. I remember them saying that they were supposed to have both versions.
But listed them separately.
But it's also been reported that they were going to do Godzilla the series and the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla, but the latter one has not even been touched on since Gurmaru Island brought it up.
Yeah, well, it hasn't. It hasn't. None of it. Not everything has aired yet.
Yeah,
and that's the thing with Pluto, because we were talking about this in our personal.
And it's only been. It's literally been 48 hours.
Right.
It's not enough time to cycle through all the films. But here's what I'm noticing: they have listed King of the Monsters and Gojira as separate films, which they are, but they have listed Return and 85 with a slash, like they're saying it's the same movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Listen, if they had cleared, I would love nothing more than to be wrong about this, because clearing the rights for the 1985 version of that film would be the biggest Godzilla news outside of them announcing a new movie, as far as I'm concerned. That would be one of the biggest things that they could announce, and we would have heard about it.
It's New Line that's holding it up, yes?
No.
You go. You tell them, Elijah.
So the good news is New Line Cinema sold the rights to 85 back in the 90s, and that ended up at Anchor Bay. So they're in an alternative universe that I kind of wish I was a part of. There was a 2002 collector's edition DVD titled Godzilla 1985 The Legend is Reborn that would have featured the 85 film and the 84 film in a deluxe collector's edition with apparently some bonus features. But Toho shot that down because Toho said they own the rights. Anchor Bay said they own the rights. 16 years later, roughly in 2016, 14 years, in 2016, Kraken licenses 84 from Toho. The reason for that is 85 is no longer owned by any company in the United States. The film is clear of licensing issues. So 84 can be presented, 85 can be presented. But 85 can only be presented if it's in mute, because the issue doesn't come from the film itself, but
The music
within
Yeah.
it. And the music is taken from a film called DEF CON 4, which I believe the rights are sitting with.
Oh gosh, I almost said New World. That's not right. That's not.
It was Orion.
Was that a?
Was it Orion?
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
and
sure
Orion-
Orion, and now it's MGM, now owned by Amazon.
Yeah.
So Amazon owns the rights to that soundtrack, or
That's-
maybe the licensor that has licensed it for a deluxe collector's edition
then-
Blu-ray.
Then I'm wondering how Mondo got their hands on the separate rights for the music, because Mondo
that was-
put out the.
That was just Reijiro Koroku's Japanese
Yeah.
soundtrack. What we're talking about is American version specific
Yes.
stock music.
Yes.
That was used just in the American cut for. Okay, do you remember the scene where the submarine gets sunk?
Yes.
That the music in that scene is different in the Japanese version. In the Japanese version, you hear Reijiro Koroku's music. That
Mhm.
music was yoinked out and replaced with Christopher Young's DEFCON 4?
Yes, DEF CON 4.
DEFCON 4
Yep.
music. I couldn't remember which DEFCON it was for a second there, but that music is one instance in the film of several where they kind of like with Godzilla 2000, where they
Sure.
but with Godzilla 2000 they wrote new music for that, and Toho was a part of that process when they were working with Sony. So that's why there have been no music right shenanigans there, but they just use stock music.
Right.
In the same vein as think of King Kong versus Godzilla's American cut, where they used Universal stock music from westerns and
Right.
Creature from the Black Lagoon, things like that. But in this case,
but the difference being Universal pulled from its own movies.
yes,
Right.
and
And Universal still owns that. So
Yes.
here's the big thing. If New World had kept the rights to 84, 85, and they worked with Toho to release it, they could have done 85 and there would have been no issue. But
Mhm.
because now it's Toho licensing the movie, and then they would have to license the soundtrack from another studio, that creates a double license, which creates a further issue. Now,
Right.
some companies can make that work. It would just cost a little more money, and they would have to get the approval.
yes,
Yes,
music licensing is
I
a
know
nightmare.
And
Music
Before we
licensing.
get
that's
to
possible.
going any deeper, hold on one second. Before we
Well,
get to
I
going
was
any
just
deeper,
gonna say, I know a double.
hold on,
license
Nathan.
is-
I'll let you talk in just a second. I'm going to let you finish. But Beyonce had the best. No, I'm just.
I
No.
understood that reference.
I do want to just real quick, because we did highlight their message. We did make a shout out,
Joe.
which was Married to Kaiju. So we wanted to give him an actual shout out. Thank you for
Yes.
joining us in the chat. Just because I
Oh.
like to make sure that we give a shout out to everybody in
fellow
our chat.
fellow Wolfpack member. Have to give a shout out to fellow Wolfpack member.
That's what
The click.
Geets does when he's hinshining into it. He goes hinshin like that. Anyway, and then we also have Spiderus.
Spider.
So nice to see you in here as well.
Spiderus, we actually, if you tuned in last week, we actually answered your mailbag question between me, Danny, Elijah, and Nathan. We answered your question. I might, Travis, if you're up for it, I know we have a mailbag already, but if you're up for it, I might bring that question back just so that you can give an answer.
Sure. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine. Anyway, okay, Nathan, go ahead and share your thoughts on
I'm
this.
glad you actually brought up Geeks, because we're talking about doing a double license. And thanks to a YouTube video that I stumbled across this week and I shared with you guys in our group chat, I found out that anytime a Common Writer piece of media is released in the United States, it also has to be double licensed, because the Kamen Rider IP is not only owned by Toei, it's owned by Ishinomori's company.
Right. Well, so that's not a double license. That's not a double. So what that is, it would be just like how Ultraman versus Kamen Rider would be released. It would have to be a joint contract between the companies. Not one could approve of it and then they license it from another. So for Ultraman versus Kamen Rider, it would be Subaraya. Let's say it's Mill Creek doing the license. We're going to cut out Indigo because that's a whole nother level. So Mill Creek is directly talking to Tsuburaya. They want to do it, but they have to then contact Toei. Toei has to put in their terms and conditions, and then they have to redo the contract. And Shinomori has to come in and then put their terms and conditions and redo the contract.
The difference
and then
the difference is that Ishinomori's company and Toei have a long-standing relationship and that they work well together. So usually those contracts are very quick and very easy. And they probably already have a standing contract with anything that is Ishinomori based, or at least specifically, certain properties. So, that's the difference. It's not so like completely separate companies. These are companies that have been working together for years.
Right.
So it's a little bit quicker and easier.
And then you have TV Tokyo, which is the broadcasting company that does Kamen Rider. So then they would have to give their terms and conditions.
Yep. That's why Rider is so hard, and why Sentai has been easier, and that's why Ultraman has had a much easier time, because they don't have to jump through nearly as many hoops. They don't have the TV restrictions that Rider does.
Right. Now, another example of this would be any Akira Kurosawa film ever, because Kurosawa films, in a lawsuit back in the 2010s, ended with a court ruling that all of Kurosawa's works because he would write them, he would direct them, and I think he would even edit them. I believe he played all 3 roles. Danny, am I right?
I want to say he did that for some, like all 3 for some films, not all of them, but some.
I don't think he did all of them.
No.
But he was a major creative mind behind all of his films he would do.
Oh yeah.
And because of that, the court ruled that all of his films where he did that level of creative input, all are partially owned by the Kurosawa estate. So to do any Kurosawa film, now you have to get approval from not only the licensor, but Kurosawa estate. So that would be one Shochiku film, I think. That'd be one Shochiku film, 3 or 5 or 6, I think, Daiei films.
Yeah.
The rest would be Toho, to my understanding. And then one Warner Brothers, I think.
Warner Brothers. Well, he did, a couple Daiei's. Did he ever do a Shintoho during that weird time? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. That wouldn't make any sense. I don't know.
But driving this all back to our main topic, partially what makes this remarkable is this is the closest we've ever been to having all the Godzilla films available on one format for the first time in history. So that's something I don't think a lot of people understand, is in the 70, I still think it's 2014. In the 70 years that Godzilla's been around, we have never lived in a lifetime where all the Godzilla films were available on one format all at the same time. This is the first time where all Godzilla films, except for one, are available on streaming.
Yep.
And even when Criterion did all the Showa films, by that point, Return of Godzilla was out and Biollante was out. So as the rights continue to lapse and one company starts to acquire them, it's getting easier and easier for the classic Toho era to be in one.
Which brings me to one very interesting question. Has anyone seen the Janus Films logo playing?
I've looked.
I've looked. Films?
That is what I was looking. That was what I was going to ask, because I know we need to move on. We're 30 minutes in, so I know we need to move on.
I have the notes. I have the notes. Hang on. So I went straight off of their the streaming on demand. So I did this for my podcast, and I had to write it down.
Look at you coming prepared, Elijah.
So
you got it, Elijah, because I got it too.
The following films have the TriStar logo in front of them, and the rest of them do not. Now, bear in mind, this is streaming and televised rights. This is not theatrical or physical. So this is just streaming and televised. The following films still have the TriStar logo in front of them. Godzilla 2000, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, Godzilla Mothra King Ghidorah Giant Monsters All Out Attack, and Godzilla Tokyo SOS. The rest of the films do not have a TriStar logo in front of them or a Sony logo.
Interesting.
which is weird because 3 of those 4 titles expire this year. The other title expires in 2025. So it's a little weird. I actually think Ghidorah 91 also doesn't have the or I think Ghidorah 91 has a TriStar logo.
Do
which
they
is
have anything before them?
They don't have Janus. Janus is not touching any of the Heisei films on this site. Now, here's my big thing. If you look on some of what is on this site, you might be able to argue that they're just getting what they can find. So, for example, Tubi, which is a lot like Roku TV and whatnot, Tubi has Atragon and Attack of the Mushroom People. But those are not connected to Janus. They are not connected to Criterion. They are not connected to Toho or Media Blasters. Those are not 100%. Actually, they're not. I can't even like beat around the bush. They're bootlegs. They're bootlegs that have been uploaded because there's loopholes to make that happen.
Right.
Well, on HBO Max, I know HBO Max has War of the Gargantuan. HBO Max also has Atragon, but they have the subtitle.
It's the
right.
Janus logo.
Yeah, because Janus has or Criterion, which is Janus, they have a deal with HBO. So a lot of the Criterion, and not just in Godzilla, but a lot of the Criterion collection and things within the Criterion collection are on.
Atragon on Max has the Janus logo before it.
Yes,
because are you sure? I don't believe that's true. I don't think it has the Janus logo.
It should, because Criterion has the rights for Rodan, War of the Gargantuas, Matango, Atragon, Frankenstein versus Baragon, Latitude Zero, Space Amoeba, Varan, the Unbelievable, and the Mysterians.
No, I need to look.
Wow, they're just gobbling up everything.
Yeah, everything on Max that's like part that we're talking about here was going to have the Janus logo, because that's the only reason Max has them, is because Janus is licensing them out to Max.
Okay, well that makes sense.
So real quick, one I want to go through just final thoughts on the Pluto TV 24/7 Godzilla channel, starting with Michael. What's your final thoughts?
I think it's a good sign for things to come, honestly. Like Elijah said, it's been years, if not like this is the first time it's all available in one place. Like you got to go to Tubi for certain films, and then you got to go to HBO for certain films, and you got to go these other weird avenues to get all the films. But what's really interesting to me, anyway, is the addition of the Heisei films. The only time the Heisei films have ever been available is through physical media. Or they're on. I take that back. They're on Amazon Prime, but but they're not for streaming. They're for purchase. They're not for streaming. So this is technically the first time these films have ever been available to us via a streaming service. So which to me is a really good sign for a collected set to come later on.
Right. Nathan, you go next.
I'm going to echo Michael here. I like that they're all under one umbrella. I like what this could eventually lead to. I think this is pointing toward a good future. And, for people who love streaming, I'm sure it's great for them. For me personally, I'm sticking with my disc. If I want to watch any of these movies, I'm just throwing in the disc.
Danny, what's your final thoughts?
I'm in a similar position. I'll echo what they said as well, because this entire Pluto thing to me is far more fascinating from the perspective of what it could eventually lead to and what it means for accessibility to the films than it is going to affect me personally. Because when I think I'm going to watch Monster Zero, I'm going to watch Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, my first instinct is always going to be to go and run and grab my disc, because it's not going to give me ad breaks every 10 minutes. They
can't take it away.
And they can't yoink it, because here's the thing. This deal is amazing, but who knows how long it's going to last. I suggest we all enjoy it and spread the joy as much as however long we can, because this could all disappear a year from now. They could start losing films one at a time. They could start adding more, and then others will go away. But they can't come into your home and take your disc. So
that's kind of where my final thoughts on it is that I'm so excited for this. And I'm not even for the movies, because the movies are like you said, we can have the
We've
DVDs,
seen them,
VHS, and we've all seen them. But what I'm excited about is just to have the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla series.
That's
and
a
be
big
able to
deal.
tune into that, and to be
That
able to
is a
tune
big
into
deal.
it, and it's just on. Like how I was a kid, there were certain times a day when it would be on.
You
I like
can
that.
you can watch it on demand on Toho's YouTube channel.
Only season 1.
No, I
Only
thought season
season
2
1
was uploaded.
No,
Season 2 is available on YouTube as well, but it's in chunks.
You got to watch
Yeah,
them,
but
like
they're all
three
they're all in
chunks.
chunks.
it's
Yeah.
so being able
It's
to
all
watch
there.
it, because that is such a big part of my childhood. I no, so talking about like how Danny was talking about how all this can go away. So I've had I have the channel on and just playing in the background while I'm doing stuff, which is one of the things I love about Pluto TV. And that's how I watched a lot of like Ultraman and stuff on Tokusatsu, was I would have it on in the background on Tokusatsu channel. And so I'm going to be doing the same for this. And I don't know if anybody here is going to get this reference, but it reminds me a lot of the Friends episode where they accidentally had the porn channel given to them, and they were so scared to change the channel because if they did, they may lose it. So they just left it on all the time. And that's what I'm like. I don't want to change the channel because I'm scared Godzilla channel will go away. So I want to leave it on all the time.
This is a slight side tangent. When the 2014 movie started doing its Comic-Con promotion, and somebody leaked that. No, it was before that. It was in 2012, and somebody uploaded the trailer, the proof of concept mood piece teaser.
I have that video.
I have it too. And I found it on YouTube, and I just kept watching it over and over and over and over and over again. And then I pulled it up on a different page, and it was gone. But the version that I had pulled up on my app on my phone at the time, I didn't refresh the page. I just like, if I refresh this page, the video will go away. It'll disappear, and I'll probably never see it again. I've since found it. It's easier to find now than it was 10 years ago.
It's been uploaded.
So I kept it up, and eventually the glitch like stopped, and it caught up with me, and I tried to play it again, and it was like, it's gone. But I just kept, I got to keep this going as long as I can. So I get that. There's always the fear when it's intangible. Hey there, Jane. When it's
give a shout out to Jane Meyer, the one and only. I couldn't remember how to pronounce the last name, but he joined us in the chat.
When it comes to streaming, there's always that very real possibility. I mean, a couple of years ago, I was watching people lose their minds online when King of the Monsters got taken off of HBO Max, and they were saying, "Oh my gosh, how am I supposed to watch this movie now? You can't see it anywhere." It was really
you sad little people.
It hurt
and then
me.
you made a little video where you walk over to your shelf and you just pull it off and walk over to your DVD player and put it in.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I do also like about this is, I mean, this is great for diehard fans, like we said, because we can just tune in and watch some of the stuff as and have it playing in the background. And
That's
it just
what I did yesterday.
plays.
I threw on Monster Zero yesterday while it was streaming, and I got about 4 or 5 minutes into it, and then a 7-minute ad thing started.
For people who have cut the cable and are looking for entertainment, you have kids who love Godzilla, but you don't have access to a lot of the Godzilla films. Or they're just getting into it. Here's a way for them to watch. Here is a way for them to tune in and watch.
Accessibility for the next generation of fans. That is the big reason because again, this doesn't really affect me because I've got I'm an old and set in my ways, and I got my discs.
I've got my discs.
I got my Blu-rays. But listen, making sure that these movies, and almost all of them, all but one, are accessible for the kids, man, for the new fans, for the children coming in, so
for the children.
That's what this is. That's why this is a big deal to me. Like that is why this is important to me.
And Elijah, do you have any final thoughts before we move on to?
So I'm gonna not echo and be a little adding. I'm gonna try to add here a little bit. I think so. The thing I take from this the most is I'm personally really grateful that Janus and Criterion have played so well with their rights they've had. The fact that we've had Rodan, War of the Gargantuas, in 14 of the 15 Showa Godzilla movies on Tubi, on Tokusatsu, on Roku TV, on the Godzilla channel. They've been available on YouTube and all your VODs and HBO and whatnot. So I'm really happy to see stuff like that, and knowing that Janus at least has theatrical rights to Biollante in 84 and presumably more because Toho sells them as combo packs.
Yeah.
It's really nice to see that Janus is willing to play ball to get these films distributed. Like they are staying true to what the company wants, which is to get these films the recognition and the viewership they deserve. So it's great to see that, and it's great to know that Sony is playing some sort of ball game here with their a last ditch attempt to release these films. Hopefully Janus picks them up because Sony is losing the rights, according to how everything's falling through. And even if Sony were to hold the rights, it's obvious that Criterion and Sony apparently have similar interests. So nonetheless, it would I feel like this just brand gets us closer and closer to getting a classic Toho Godzilla box set.
That complete set.
That would be absolutely epic. And I think it would be an opportunity for Criterion to make up for what they did with the Showa set that left a little people disappointed. It left some people a little disappointed.
Yeah. Michael, you're muted.
Sorry, it left a little bit to be desired, but just to tack on one last thing before we move on. Sites like Pluto, and then independent sites like DKU TV, like they're doing the Lord's work in terms of bringing tokusatsu and kaiju, especially the obscure stuff with DKU TV, bringing that stuff to fans. Like Danny's point, like Pluto having all the Godzilla films, that's for the children. And the new fans, like that's perfect for those people, because us old school guys, like we're gonna have the discs. We've seen these movies 1,000 times, but we sometimes will forget or neglect newer fans, in the process of enjoyment. Right. So anyway, that's just my final thought.
Now moving on, before we move on to the next segment, I want to give a shout out to Adrian in the chat.
Yo, Adrian!
Oh my God.
Adrian!
Well, Adrian has 2 less friends now. There it is.
Adrian, have you watched Kamen Rider Black yet?
Are you a fan of Black?
Are you a fan of Kamen Rider Black? Kamen Rider Black, I preference. I preference.
All right, moving on to the next segment is movies and TV. And Elijah, you're going to take this over because this is what we've been doing for the last few weeks. Of just running down all of the things that we have from this week, and then we'll just pick our what topic we want to talk about out of the things that you are going to mention. So go for it.
First, Michael, I need you to give me a beautiful musical entry with your whistling.
Copyright strike.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Kaiju Weekly News. I'm your host of the movies and television section, Brick Tamlin. And joining me today is everybody else not here right now because everybody wants to hear me. So, breaking news, Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2's trailer has officially been released. More behind-the-scene footage and images of the upcoming independent anime tokusatsu kaiju film Midnight by Era have been posted to the studio's Twitter page. Volts V is halfway over. Episodes 36 through 40 debuted this week. Gorgo comes to 4K with a special limited edition 2-disc box set with a slipcase and art by Matt Frank. The Blu-ray 4K is being produced by Severin Films.
Gorgo getting some
No,
love.
Vinegar Syndrome.
Vinegar Syndrome. I get
Vinegar
them
Syndrome.
confused.
Yeah.
Vinegar Syndrome, and it is limited to 6,000 units. The official G-Fest program has been released, answering all of your questions about G-Fest 2023. The G-Fest Film Festival has been announced for all 3 days. Ultraman Day is approaching, with deep discount prices going lower and lower, deeper into their discounts, and Mill Creek doing giveaways. Ultraman Blazer premieres this week, July 8th, on YouTube in Japanese with English subtitles or the English dub. For Ultraman YouTube releases, you have Ultraman Z's English dub concluding with episode 25, Warriors Shining Beyond. Gamera Rebirth has revealed the fourth out of its 5 kaiju, and it's none other than the original Knifehead kaiju himself, Guiron. Legendary Entertainment will be at Anime Expo tomorrow. By the way, this is where Gridman Universe is getting its US debut being shown at this convention. But Legendary Entertainment will be there tomorrow with the creators of Skull Island talking about the show. The untitled Toho Godzilla Twitter account continues its countdown to its 9th day before 0. Showing off past Godzilla posters, today's being Destroy All Monsters. As for Godzilla YouTube releases, we have Godzilla Island, episode 33, A Bad Feeling, and episode 34, A Long Battle, and Chibi Godzilla Raids Again's episode, The War at Low Tide. Me again.
Back to you,
sorry.
Elijah. Anyway.
Thank you, Elijah, for that rundown of all the news in movies and television.
Yeah.
So, boys, what do we want to pick out of here and talk about?
So I want to just jump in here real quick and just talk about Guiron. I mean,
Let's cut to the chase and talk about Guiron.
Oh, would you cut that out? Let him take a stab at it.
Yeah.
Personally,
Travis is a sharp guy. We can.
How many of you saw this one coming? No, I like seriously.
And me without my soundboard.
We're getting down to, we only have one kaiju left in the 5 that they've announced for Gamera Rebirth. We have all Showa kaiju up to this point. And Guiron is obviously, he's such a I guess if you are a fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000, you would know him even more. That is my favorite.
That's the best one.
It's my favorite of the Mystery Science Theater 3000 Gamera ones.
I don't know. Maybe I'm a fan. Maybe I'm not a fan. What could this be here? It's possible I'm a fan, maybe.
Gizmodo. I'm excited to see that. I know we bring this up every time that they announce one of the new monsters, but who do you think is going to be the next one or the last one now?
It's Virus, y'all.
It's Virus. I have been
Virus.
100% accurate. It's Virus.
Yeah, I think they're just grabbing all of the Showa monsters because other than Gauss, none of them have ever been brought back before.
Yeah.
Unless you include comic books and Trendmaster toys. It's about it. They've got manga, but that's about it. I don't think it's going to be Baragon.
I personally think that they're going to throw us a curveball. I think Elijah is wrong. It's wrong. I think you're wrong. I think it's going to be an original kaiju, and when they finally reveal the silhouette, that we're going to wonder what the heck is going on. Like I think it's going to be an original kaiju.
If they really want to impress us, Gara Sharp.
Wyvern.
Okay. We're not getting Gara Sharp.
No, there's already a short. So let me ask you this, Michael. Why would Katakawa spend more money on a IP they're not even sure it's going to work when this is probably a trial run for future endeavors? Because they've already done that, and
it's only 5 episodes. So I mean, to have 6. Is it 6 episodes? I thought it was only 5 episodes.
Yeah, it's 6.
He's fighting 5 monsters, but it will be 6 episodes.
6 episodes.
Yeah. It'll quite literally be the first episodes by himself, and then he just goes after. Let's see. I bet it's gonna be.
But here's the thing: you guys are talking about like they're pulling all the Showa monsters. There's 2 Showa monsters that haven't been included in this, and there's only one monster left.
Virus. Barugan and Virus.
Barugan and Virus.
I
Virus.
think I think Barugan steps on the toes of Jagger a little bit.
I agree.
And I think that if
Yeah.
they want 5 unique silhouettes, 5 unique monsters, 5 unique origins, 5 unique everything. They're probably going to mix up the origins a bit, but let's just take their general looks into consideration. We have big pointy flying bat. We've got a quadruped pointy shark monster. We've got a quadruped lizard. We've got pointy fish. If we have all of these
Pointy
very
fish.
Okay, but
fish.
pointy fish is Viras too. So
pointy fish. Well, if you hold
pointy
up,
octopus.
Yeah,
if you
but
hold-
It's a
Virus is
cephalopod,
squid.
Travis.
if you,
It's
if
a
you hold up
cephalopod.
Squid Boy and Shark Boy, they don't look alike. Come on.
let's give a quick shout out to. So we have Angus Palmer who's commenting. My friend Wet Jeffrey says, and I quote, "Hi." He lost his password. Well, hi, Jeffrey.
Hi.
Wet
Hi.
Jeffrey.
Angus. I know Angus, and he's a goober. So
Okay.
Angus.
But
So-
yes,
that is your real
I need-
name.
I need to stop the stream just for a second, and because we're at the part of Godzilla 2000 with the famous line,
Rap
"Gotta
through a
get
goose?
it." Yeah.
gotta
No.
get it!
Godzilla!
Okay. Want to do that really quick.
Gotta get it!
It's the one that trails off because
Wait for it.
the Godzilla one is the one where Godzilla interrupts him.
And now the copyright strike. Ready?
Gotta get it! All right. So I'm
Anyway.
on the side
Anyway,
of Kaiju
so
Kim. I would love for it to be Legion. I also wouldn't mind if it was why am I blanking?
Iris.
Iris.
Zetus?
Iris. Barugan would be great. I do agree with Danny though. I think that the silhouette of Barugan is a little too similar to Jiger. But yeah, no, I know it's going to be Virus. I know it's going to be, but my heart wants something, from the Heisei era, just to pay, a little nod to the Heisei era.
My
but-
heart wants Zetus. My heart wants Zetus
But
because
yeah.
because
Of all the wonderful things he does. Thank you.
Gamera the Brave was the only one to make me cry.
Gamera the
Mhm.
Brave's a tearjerker. I love
It is
that
a
movie.
really good film.
It's
It is
so
a really
good.
good film.
It is so underappreciated.
Okay,
So
let's move
underappreciated.
on. Let's move on now. Michael, what of the news topics did you want to discuss?
Well, I do want to talk about, and my good friend Kim is going to help me out with this, sort of. We're going to talk about the Gorgo Blu-ray because Gorgo has been getting a lot of love as of late. Lots of love, more love than I think Gorgo has ever gotten in years past. So,
do you want me to give
there he is. There he is. For anyone
you-
who doesn't, listening to, hang on. For anyone listening to this later on audio, Danny is holding up the Gorgo plushie from Titanic Creations, which mine comes tomorrow. Mine was in the last batch of plushies, so mine will come tomorrow.
Michael,
But go ahead,
do you want
Elijah.
Do you want me to give a rundown of all the bonus features on this?
Yes, let's talk. That's what I was going to ask. I was either going to do it or you were going to do it.
I was going to say, just as a frame of reference, this is not the first time Gorgo's been released on Blu-ray. It was released by Kino Lorber.
No,
I don't remember when,
No,
but it
it
was.
was
And
VCI
near as I can-
Entertainment.
Yeah, and near as I can tell, they're carrying over the special features from that.
Yes. So the bonus features go as such. 2-disc region-free set, 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, 4K UHD presented in high dynamic range, newly scanned and restored in 4K from its 35mm original camera negative.
Now
Sound
that's
options. Original English mono soundtrack. A brand new commentary track with film historian and cartoonist Stephen R. Bissett. And an isolated music and effect track. Gorgo Lives, a film historian and cartoonist Stephen R. Bissett on the legacy of Gorgo. The Ninth Wonder of the World, The Making of Gorgo, an archival making of documentary extended version. Gorgo, behind the scenes, archival making of featurette. Waiting for Gorgo, a short film from 2009 directed by Benjamin Craig. Behind the scenes featurette from Waiting for Gorgo. Original theatrical trailer, promotional image gallery, original production notes, video gallery, lobby cards and posters, video gallery, press book, video gallery, photos, video gallery, Gorgo, the monster from the sea, video comic book, reversible cover artwork, English SDH subtitles.
Hey, that's me. That's me on that thing. That's me. That's so cool. I love it.
Look at this.
Danny, you were 2 steps away from getting that book. Because if I had gotten to it first, I would have given it to you.
Oh man,
But Michael got there before me.
This is just it all comes down to me being able to walk faster than Travis.
Yeah.
that what-
My bone spur fails me.
So for listeners on the podcast listening to this later, what I'm holding up here is the original novelization of Gorgo. So it's not a very big book, but I'm yet to actually sit down and attempt to read it because the pages are a little bit. The pages are a little old, and and like some of the middle parts are starting to fall out. So I'm a little bit scared to actually sit down and attempt to read it, but it's just a nice thing to have in my collection. But I'm very excited for this new restoration
I was going to say we need to answer the question.
Right, I'm very excited for this release. Because I love Gorgo. That is a movie that I grew up with as a kid. It was on all the time on AMC. Anytime they did a monster movie matinee on AMC or TMC, like Monster Vision was always.
It's one of the few kaiju films that Leonard Maltin actually liked.
Mm-hmm.
So much so he was on MST3K when MST3K had it on the show.
Yeah, he makes a cameo and he's like, I actually like this movie.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's not in his 100 movies that to see before you die. It was in one of his books that he wrote.
Yeah, it was he gave it a nice review somewhere where he was like, "This is a good movie. I like it. It's all good."
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly really happy that Gorgo, this movie, is getting a lot of love. And Danny, you and I were chit-chatting. I think Nathan, it was in our it was in a separate chat. I think Nathan, you were in that too. Like this is the definitive Gorgo release.
Mm-hmm. And
it's not gonna, it probably won't get better than this.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be good.
I did something I wouldn't normally have done, which is I dipped into my podcast fund when I probably would have waited, and I pre-ordered the thing because #for the podcast, because I want all those special features. I have an episode on this movie coming up, I would say within the next 6 months. So I have to have this because I need the research materials.
And that the cartoonist Stephen R. Bissett, I had to look him up because I was like, that name sounds familiar. He's actually the artist that worked on Swamp Thing back in the day with Alan Moore.
Oh,
so
okay. That's why the name was ringing a bell.
Yeah, so that very, very iconic, very influential Swamp Thing series that Alan Moore did. He this guy was the penciler for it. So
I liked Swamp Thing. I liked that. I liked that cartoon.
This guy, he's got some pedigree. He's worked in the comic book world. He's done a lot of comic book stuff over the years.
You're not bringing up why he's relevant to us, which is Godzilla King of the Monsters special #1 that he did.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I was getting to that. That's what I was saying. He was in the comic book world for a long time. But yeah, so he's an interesting guy to have on here. I'm actually interested in that special feature probably the most out of all of them. Just to hear him.
Hey, Mac McClintock from Titanic Creations, if you're watching this right now, I would pay for this again. I would get a second one if it was a puppet, like a Gorgo puppet, like an actual puppet. I love this. I love the plush, and a puppet would go great with it. So
now, do lines from for waiting for Gorgo.
We're waiting for
Gorgo.
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 Yeah.
He's got the Fozzie mouth going on. That's what it is.
He sounds like Fozzie right now.
That thing is a lot bigger than I expected it to be. I know that's what she said. I'm just gonna beat somebody before somebody
I
says anything.
resembled that remark, Michael. Don't make fun of my size. Don't do it. Don't make fun of me. I wish I had the real puppet right now, because right now it just looks very lame. I don't know. I'm stopping now.
All
We're
right.
done.
So
We're done. We're moving on.
Danny, what of the news items in the movies and TV do you want to talk about?
Well, I had it in my head. I wanted to chat Gorgo, but I figured we would probably cover that. So I'm going to pick one out of left field here. I'm going to get real serious for a second here, you guys. And I'm going to talk about my one great true love in the Godzilla fandom, in the Godzilla universe, the Godzilla franchise as a whole. And that is Godzilla Island.
Oh boy.
I'm going to sit here. Listen, this has come up in private before, but I'm putting it out on record now. I've talked about it before with GMP stuff. Godzilla Island is quite possibly my favorite Godzilla anything ever. And I am not saying that with any lick of irony or like I'm no hyperbole. I love Godzilla Island so much.
Okay, who's got the ice maker going in the background?
Somebody like got the Cuisinart? What is that?
I voted it's Nathan.
It's probably Nathan.
There's a little bit of feedback.
So I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I heard it.
It's
you.
Hang on.
Okay, that was it. That was him.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay, so it is a little bit of feedback on your end, Nathan. Sorry.
It's all good.
What? It stopped when you muted me. No, I mean, yeah, I still heard it when you muted me.
Oh,
we didn't hear it though, so it's not coming through the stream.
Yeah,
it's coming through on your headphones.
It's coming from your audio source. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either that or he's wiggling on a whoopee cushion. Yeah.
Anyway, while he gets that fixed, Danny, continue. Godzilla Island.
Ever so briefly. So I first stumbled across Godzilla Island a thousand years ago, and I tracked down a completely official and not all unofficial DVD of the whole thing in high school. So I mean, I was younger than that. It was one of the first totally official disc sets I ever bought offline with my own money. It was a million years ago. And I have been in love with that show ever since. I have watched it beginning to end. I don't know how many times. And so the fact that the Godzilla YouTube channel is putting Godzilla Island out subtitled right now for free for the world to watch is wonderful for me, because I get to see fans discover it. And it's been very surreal seeing people like sharing pictures of the characters and like Lucas, the flying robot, and the G-Guard commander, and talking about plot lines and like picking up on it, like the story threads, and like genuinely appreciating it beyond the like kind of like very admittedly bizarre aesthetics of the thing. This is a show where all the monsters are played by toys. It's it's a little weird, but it was such a curio for me years ago when I first started getting into Godzilla that I knew I needed to find it, and it ended up being just something I adore. Like I said, I've seen it beginning to end. I don't know how many times. I love Godzilla Island so much. So it's been really cool to see, because I get to experience it again with subs now, because when I got my set, it was not subtitled.
I am just holding out for them to put Godzilla Land on the YouTube channel.
And Danny, I'm actually one of the people who's been discovering it.
Yes,
and
I've gotten a few.
About it a little bit, and I will say, I'm catching up with the number of episodes that they have out right now. I think I'm up to like 22, I think, at this point. And I told you, it was like, I feel like I tapped into this show's energy without knowing it for MIFV.
I've always thought so.
Strange similarities.
I've always thought so. Actually, I feel like when you first started Monster Island Film Vault, I asked you if you'd ever seen Godzilla Island, and you said no. Because I was like, this feels like it's in a similar vein. So anyway, all that to say, the new episodes are airing, and I mean, we're up to like what, episode 30 something. There are 260 episodes of this show. It is going to take a while to upload. So the moral of my rant here my positivity rant is that if you're sleeping on Godzilla Island,
You're a rave.
I highly recommend that you stop sleeping on it and watch it. It's free on YouTube. The episodes are 3 minutes a pop. It is endlessly charming. It is so like adorably fun. It's just
And
wholesome good
Ultraman
Godzilla.
Jack is the star.
Yes, he is. And may he rest in peace. I miss him. Yeah, if you're an Ultraman fan, Jiro Dan plays the main character in this. But yeah, he's great. The human cast is great. The Exilians are great. It's fun stuff. So go watch Godzilla Island. I will evangelize for Godzilla Island until I am no longer capable of speaking because I love it so much. So go watch it.
Yeah, I might have a crush on what is it?
You like
the one who
Torema.
wears the red coat. I can't
Torema.
remember her name. Zagreth is
Hey,
the villain.
if you stop talking for a second, you'll hear me give you the answer. Her name is Torema.
Yeah, that's right. Torema.
Torema.
That's right.
No, she's adorable. The entire cast is great. I love that. I love it. I love that show. Don't get too attached to her because she won't stick around. But that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I know. Because I looked it up on Wiki, and I know that she leaves by the end of season 1.
But no spoilers. I won't give any other spoilers. But yeah. Anyway, watch Godzilla Island, and passionate.
Now, Elijah,
Thing. I don't know.
of the news items, I know which one you want to talk about. Attack on Titan, season 3.
I can tell you, I know absolutely nothing. Big monster go burr?
big monster go burr. No, Elijah, what news topic do you want to talk about?
Well, Michael, you took my topic. So I'm going to make it a subtopic. I'm excited for the release of Waiting for Gorgo, the short film from 2009. It's going to be on the 4K Blu-ray box set for Gorgo. Yeah.
Which is coming out and will exist.
Is coming out by Vinegar Syndrome.
No way.
Yeah.
Cheater.
I'm excited.
Cheater, pumpkin eater.
It even comes with a making of featurette, which is really exciting. Well, behind the scenes featurette, which is exciting.
What other bonus features are on that disc? I feel like you should run through the whole list.
Again.
Yeah, just go through all of them all over again.
A 2-disc region-free set.
No. We got to move on.
So I'm excited for that. I love getting an unofficial official sequel to Gorgo. That's going to be pretty exciting. Plus, getting all the comics again on that box set being the definitive release. But if I can't cheat my way into talking about the Gorgo set, I'm gonna throw out there the official G-Fest program. So this is exciting for a few things. One,
shameless self-promotion.
No, I'm not gonna talk it. I am not.
He
Nathan
said the
Marchand.
thing.
So one, it's really exciting to see the transition period from JD to Peyton. Because this is the first year it's ever been a digital program. So it's really cool to see Peyton's updating the actual convention to a modern set, a modern presentation. I'm a little sad we're not going to get physical copies. A little sad that the program book is dead. But it is exciting to see that Peyton has officially taken the reins. Not only do we have a new way of getting our tickets and a new, quite literally a brand new website, but now we're starting to see what Peyton's done to the convention as it is.
Right. It's finally caught up with the times, I feel like.
I don't think it's officially there yet. If we're still having,
no, it's much closer than it's
getting there.
If we're still having audio visual errors because their technology is analog and we're trying to work with digital technology, then I think we're still behind.
I just appreciate having the full schedule for everything so I can plan for more than just panels.
Right. Exactly. No, I agree. It did reveal all of the films that are going to be at the film festival,
including Yuzo. Yuzo was playing there. I'm going to have to make time for that.
We're going
to be on a panel. We're going to be on the writing panels at the same time.
It's at the same time as Yuzo?
Yeah.
Dang it!
Yeah, I know.
So-
I was so sad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so. Imagine not being able to watch Yuzo. It couldn't be me. I'm so sorry for you guys.
So we discussed not kicking people off the stream, right? Just to double check.
Yeah, can we allow one into the void
No,
per stream?
no.
But
Go ahead, Elijah.
so
No.
to that, there is one little problem. So, Danny, we
Yes.
have a problem.
We do.
Our panel is at the same time that I got to be at a film festival because my film is being festivized.
That's a word.
It's infestated.
G-festated.
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 In G-fested?
So, Danny, you and I are going to have to see if we can make an email or two to like two people to see if we can swap with something.
Yeah.
Because I can't be at two places at once, and it's actually required that I'm there. So
I
have
okay.
So I have to be there, and I have to be there. So
Okay.
I-
Who in the stream who's going to be at G-Fest, if push comes to shove,
Nathan, you are not taking my content.
We'll sub for Elijah in the panel until he gets back.
Nathan, you're not taking my content.
I didn't say me.
No, but nobody is taking my content.
I'm not gonna be there.
Really?
Whoa.
What happened?
Whoa. Travis?
Whoa, what happened?
Travis.
Uh-oh.
Travis.
Okay, Travis got disconnected. Oh no!
He
did not
that he's
kick
not
him.
going to be
There
at
he is.
G-Fest.
We did
Okay,
not
he's
do
back.
that.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
I was just like, I'm not gonna be at G Fest, so I'm logging off.
Oh, that was okay.
Oh,
That was a
God.
problem. Okay. Okay.
But we're gonna see if we can do some problem solving.
We'll figure it out.
We'll make it work.
If you tell them, hey, I have to be in two places at once and I haven't learned how to clone myself yet, they should be able to accommodate you, I would imagine.
Yeah, Elijah is
imagine.
not multiple man, last I checked.
No,
I
you
mean,
cannot.
I-
That's a little open-ended.
you know.
I don't know about
I'm
that.
not gonna.
But
no.
so
Michael and I on the same page here.
but one thing that has been an issue to some, I don't see it as an issue, but one of the potential problems is Yumiko Shaku, who was the actress in Godzilla Against Mechagodzilla. She played Akane. She was also in Kamen Rider Zeo. Is only doing autographs Friday and Saturday. This is actually one of the first times I've ever heard of a G-Fest guest being limited. And what makes it a little worse is your time frame is 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Oh no!
So
That's
you
a problem.
have a 2
That's
hour,
gonna be tough.
You have a 2 hour time gap, 2 days. You have 4 hours total to get a ticket to see her
Oh no!
and get an autograph.
Yeah.
Those lines are going to be out around the building
So
to get her autograph. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So we're gonna have to like work with each other. The 4 people here that will be going, we're gonna have to like strategize here.
Shifts.
Yeah, one of us will be recording a panel. One of us will be in the vendor room. One of us is going to be in line, and one of us is going to be like, I don't know, eating. But we're all going to be working with each other. We're gonna be like, I need food.
I could have the same bit of crazy luck Kim and I had last year, where we accidentally had lunch with one of the guests. So
If you can make that happen again, then you give us a call and we'll show up and we'll do that. I guess I'd rather she get paid. Yeah, that's another thing. Since she's gonna be like this, I just want to throw this out there. Getting to her autograph is going to be funky this year, but if you see her in the hallway, just please, dear God, don't pester her for a free autograph. Get in line and do it the right way and pay these people for traveling halfway across the country. No, the world. Let me rephrase that. Halfway across the planet. They get paid for
do
this.
not
do
be
right
that fan. Do not be that fan.
Yeah,
do not
don't
be
be that guy.
I know.
And
I'm gonna say our Kaiju Ramen peeps here are mature enough that I should not have to say that. This is something they already know. I am, however, throwing it out into the ether just to be careful.
And now some people have been very upset about this, and they've been like, "Well, why is this? Why is that?" So to explain a little bit of the behind the scenes, the reason she's coming to G-Fest is not for Godzilla against Mechagodzilla or Tokyo SOS. It is something that she agreed to when she agreed to be in the movie. Is it IK Boys?
EK?
EK.
Boys?
EK.
I think it's EK. EK, right?
EK
EK.
Boys, which is a 2022 independently made film that is heavily inspired by tokusatsu, that features effects and suit work by Daisuke Sato, director of Howl from Beyond the Fog, and does have a few Japanese actors in it that have been in tokusatsu. And there's references, and there's I believe there's actual call outs to like Ultraman and whatnot in the film. I haven't watched it. But
Is it
that's
available
why
anywhere?
Yes, Shout Factory has it streaming, and I think a Blu-ray is in the works, if
It
not
is.
already out.
It is. It's not. I don't think it's out yet, but it is coming. I've been meaning to watch it for a hot minute now. I feel bad. I
Which
should
means
do
it
it
should
before
be on
G-Fest.
Tubi.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I
Yeah,
think
it's not on
a
Tubi.
Shout. I think it's a Shout streaming exclusive
Okay.
on
Right.
Shout.
Oh no, it is on
Right.
Tubi. It is on Tubi.
Oh,
It is.
I just looked it up.
Oh.
It is. It's on Tubi, the Roku channel, Amazon Prime, Plex, and then you can purchase it on the other places. But those are the ones that have it for free.
corrected. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But this is her marketing that she's agreed to do, and she doesn't do events. Even in Japan, she does not do signing events. She does not do fan events. So this is like a very rare opportunity. So I believe tickets go on sale to get her autograph at 10 a.m. So what I'm gonna say is we all wake up early and we get down there and
Well,
we get the ticket.
planning
That's
the
so-
whole thing we can do another time. But yeah, I think people need to be understanding of some of these, especially these Japanese actors and actresses who are coming from Japan. Like if their time is limited that they're going to do at these events, that's understandable. Like they're traveling so far and they only have so much time to dedicate to these things. So don't be too greedy and demand more time. Why is she doing more? It's like just be happy that we have any time at all with her, because like you said, she does not do events.
She doesn't do events. This is something I'm pretty sure is just in her contract for being a part of the film. I'm sure she's going to have a great time, and she's definitely going to have a great time if everybody respects her and treats her.
Make a
with
good
the respect
impression.
she deserves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody make a good impression. Keep
Maybe she
Nathan
enjoys
away.
it. Maybe she enjoys
Sorry,
maybe she
Nathan,
enjoys the convention so much that she wants to come back.
Yeah,
maybe.
And
that
then
would
more
be great.
people have opportunity.
Yeah, no, seriously, yeah. I think
Akira
it would be great.
Takarada wasn't sure about G-Fest when he came. He got convinced to
He
go
was-
because a couple of other Showa era alums said, you got to check this out. And he went, and it ended up becoming his favorite thing to do ever for the rest of his life.
I mean, he was Mr. G-Fest.
He was
for all
the
intents and purposes.
Godfather G-Fest?
Godfather.
Godfather G-Fest. So they
Yeah.
he was the Godfather. Like he was into it.
So now, have we all had a chance to talk about?
Nathan hasn't.
Nathan.
Well, is
No.
there anything?
I'll
Was there
be
something
very
specific?
quick.
Okay.
My top choices have already been discussed, so I will just be very quick in saying I am excited for the premiere of Ultraman Blazar.
Yes.
However you say it.
Blazar.
Next week, I watched
Blazar.
I watched the pre-premiere special yesterday.
Mhm.
Just to see what it was. A lot of it was stock footage from other New Generation Hero stuff, but still, I watched it, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm gonna have to decide. Well, you know what?
Sub or dub?
Honestly, I am
Sub or
actually gonna
dub?
go with the dub for
Dub.
this because Johnny Young Bosch.
Johnny
I
Young
want to support
Bosch.
Johnny Young Bosch.
I was
Normally,
gonna
I
say,
do
like, this is
Japanese
a
language.
Sophie's choice here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, because normally I'm an original language guy.
Mhm.
Nerd.
Especially when it's live action, because dubbing for live action has a less impressive track record compared to animation.
Weeb.
Yeah, shut up. But
Ah,
I think I am gonna go with the dub with this one,
Yeah,
at least on a first viewing.
Geek.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I'm not against dubs. I do watch dubs, and there are some dubs. I mean, the original dub of Cowboy Bebop, hello, is like
The dub for Cowboy Bebop is better
Yeah, it's
one of the
better
rare
than
times
the
it's
than the
better.
Japanese. So I mean, I'm not against dubs, but I do tend to, especially like you said for live action, tend to watch the subtitled, the original language one, especially for my first viewing. But yeah, it's a hard choice with Johnny Young Bosch on there, and the fact that it's coming out at the same time. See, it's different with like
Yes.
Ultraman Z or Ultraman Z because it's like, well, all we had when it was airing was the subtitled, and now we can go back and watch the dub. The fact that they're both coming out simultaneously
Now we have a choice.
is
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you have a choice, and I find it interesting that the dubbed version of Z finishes up right before Blazer is about to be released. So I almost wonder if this was kind of to prepare fans for it. It's like, here's something you're familiar with,
Most
and now
likely,
we're going to
yeah.
launch with dual
It
languages.
sounds
They
Well-
did the same thing with Ultraman Regulus.
Well,
It
yeah,
was-
yeah,
Which was
Regulus.
a mini series, and the episodes were only about 12 minutes, and there's only 6 of them. But still.
But there was also New Generation Hero Star that was also coming out. So
Yeah.
for the since Decker's movie, it really feels like we've been just thrown a ton of content from the dubs. I think the Ultra Galaxy Fight third miniseries came out following Decker, right?
As
Danny?
it came out on the YouTube channel, and I think is it on the YouTube channel because it was an Ultraman Connection exclusive.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it came on YouTube.
Yeah,
I
I'm trying to
think it got put
remember
on
if
the
they've just
YouTube
been
channel.
releasing the episodes or if they released it as one movie.
They
They've
did.
done
They
that.
might have done one movie. I don't really remember. But yeah, we have been getting flooded with a lot of. I mean, you know, we've been saying it, like Super Aya just is spoiling us with how much stuff.
Yeah,
that
they're
we're getting.
Tokusatsu Santa Claus, as I've been saying.
But we do need to go ahead and move on to the next segment of the podcast, which is toys and collectibles. And now we're going to hand the reins over to Michael.
Actually, we're
him.
gonna hand the reins. We're gonna hand the reins over to Danny, and I'm gonna be
Oh.
running the PowerPoint presentation. If that's
okay.
okay with you.
That's fine.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Let me
Go for
get. I just realized I don't have the PowerPoint pulled up, so give me just a moment here.
Geek. So, toys, collectibles, one wallet,
Okay,
no money.
take it away.
Hey, I see.
Take it
I
away,
see.
Danny.
All right, taking it away in just a second here. All right, what we're looking at here are the beautiful, beautiful spines of Mondo's next soft vinyl release. This is the and it's Groman. Yes, I'm saying that
It's
correctly.
Groman, yes,
James
yes.
Groman.
It's not confirmed. It's not officially confirmed, but
We don't know
based
for
on,
sure. Yeah.
But based on this photo, it's a high probability.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be the James Groman Shodai Goji that was teased a couple months ago. That seems to be what this is. They have not confirmed that is what this is, but it looks very, very possible. And if so, this thing is going to be gorgeous. And I can't wait to see this whole thing get revealed. James Groman sculpts are it's going to be limited. Prepare yourselves. When this thing gets revealed, it's going to be incredibly limited, and expect to pay a premium price for this. There's no current information on when this is going to go up for pre-order, but chances are we're probably going to get more information about this thing on this upcoming Wednesday.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's just a beautiful looking thing. It's an unusual figure. I mean,
It's really stylized.
It's incredibly stylized, but it's gorgeous and kind of creepy, and I like it. And if that's what this is, then we're gonna be in for a treat. If this thing seems like something that's up your alley, keep your eyes peeled for Mondo for their socials. If you get their emails, they'll probably be putting out more information. You'll see there. And again, this Wednesday might be the target for that.
Mhm.
And
Expect
next up,
Expect to pay, I would say, probably $300 to $400 because
it's gonna be
Gromans are highly sought after pieces, and they can get up there in price. So just be prepared for that. But if you're in the market, then go for it. But
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh boy, You know what time it is? It's time for new Tom Whalen art to drop.
Yes.
Yes. We're all big fans of Tom around here.
Mhm.
And so what you're looking at here is a poster, but it's also a shirt design from Ghost X Ghost. And they're currently taking pre-orders for the poster and the shirt. And this is very obviously, knocked my camera. This is Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. And
Yes.
the poster, it's beautiful. I mean, it's Tom Whalen, so naturally it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, gorgeous.
It's just a beautiful, beautiful piece. The poster is going to be 24 by 36. It'll be about 100 smackers, which is a very reasonable price. If anyone out there doesn't collect posters like this, and that sounds like a lot, trust me, this is right in the ballpark. This is what you would expect.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
Michael, you're going to have to find some room on your walls.
Yeah, he's also going to have to program a bot to do it for him because if I remember correctly, Mondo posters sell out faster than anything else they have.
Sir, this is not a Mondo poster.
It's not.
Oh, it's not?
This is not a Mondo poster. This is done by Ghost X Ghost, which is I think a fairly new-ish company.
Mm-hmm. They're relatively new kids on the block, and they've been doing some really good Godzilla apparel. They've gotten some really good artists to work on it. Naturally, they had to get Tom, so this was to be expected. But even though it's not Mondo, this is going to be a timed pre-order edition. And so if you want the poster, and there's only going to be 100 of these posters. There are only going to be 100 of them. So if you want it, act fast. Pre-orders are going to start on July 7th at noon Pacific Standard Time.
Would absolutely
like I said,
love that
program a bot.
poster.
Yes.
Love Tom's artwork. I love, I've talked about before that I don't collect a lot of figures. I collect artwork, and art is something I really enjoy putting on my walls and stuff. I'm probably not going to be able to afford or get this when it comes out. Man, I would love it though. It's one of my favorite. One of my favorite Showa movies, one of my favorite Godzilla movies of all time. Absolutely love it. The shirt looks, and to me, and this might be controversial, I think the shirt looks better than the poster.
The shirt looks, I'll be honest. I'm going to go back to the poster here just to say.
I think the shirt looks better.
That is a valid opinion. I will.
It's that pop of blue that they have in it, because the poster is just purple and orange and red. It's those warm color tones, and then when you see the shirt, it adds that little bit of coolness to it with the blue.
That's fair.
Oh, we have a new person in the chat.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes. So I don't know if you guys gave a shout out, because I had to step away for a second. To Eric Stolp. Eric, he said he's got his. And then we also have Record All Monsters joining us. So Robert, thank you for joining us, and I'm glad somebody else agrees with me about the shirt. I'm glad, because I thought I was a weirdo for saying that, but I do think
you
that
are
they're
a
adding
weirdo.
Well, I am a weirdo.
So
I'm a freak, I'm a weirdo.
If the shirt is more appealing, the good news is it's $30. It is less than the it's a shirt. It's less than the poster.
It's not $30 for me, because I've got the big guy tax.
Well, it's going to be how much? Well, that's right. But it'll be. I mean, it can't be much more. How much more would it be?
It's not much more.
Not much more, but somewhere in the it'll be less 35, 40 maybe. I don't know. It wouldn't be 40 with shipping.
See, Adrian also agrees with me.
There you go. Wow. Support team shirt.
It's not as controversial as I thought. I thought it was going to be controversial.
No, I think they're both great. Both of these
are great.
I think they're both. I think they're both great. I think it's. I may have mistyped this. Danny, in the notes, but it's the T-shirt is the time pre-order. Pre-orders for the T-shirt end on pre-orders for the T-shirt end on July the 7th. The poster. Let me go back to the poster here.
Poster's up now, right?
The poster is they're both up now, because I got my pre-order in the other day or yesterday.
I nearly did.
The poster is a limited amount of 100 pieces. So once they're gone, period. When the T-shirt is I'm assuming is going to be a print to order.
That's
piece.
made to order. The T-shirts will be print to order.
Made to order. So they're doing a timed pre-order for those.
Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. So if you want them, get them now before the 7th. You have 5 days.
Yeah.
And again, about $30 and $100 for the poster. All righty, it's time. Not the mama.
Not the mama, not the mama, not the mama.
I am more excited for
Graham?
this than Graham. I'm home, honey. I am okay. This is we might have had to fudge things a little bit to make sure that this got on the list, but we couldn't not talk about the NECA dinosaur line. Yes. I am ridiculously excited. So I can't get over how beautiful these look. Very clearly, we are looking at.
They are incredibly nice looking figures.
They are.
They're-
Awesome. I mean, NECA has a good track record.
They don't mess around.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there has not seen the captain's hat, the 1990s sitcom Dinosaurs.
Gotta love me.
Gotta love me.
Produced by
Henson.
Jim
Jim
Henson.
Henson, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a Henson junkie. So this was so this show is so unbelievably good. If you grew up in the 90s, then this is something that most people will recognize. And even if you don't, it's a ingenious show. And these are obviously we're looking at the hunk that is Earl Sinclair here, dad extraordinaire,
America's dad.
America's dad, arguably the best television father of all time. And by that, I mean, he's a terrible father. He's horrible, but he's a great character. And I mean, he's got interchangeable hands. He's got a big dopey open mouth face. He's got his little hat, and he comes with the mug from one specific episode where he he basically sells his soul to afford this mug. It is hysterical. And he's got beer and
the little remote too.
This little TV remote.
That's one of the things. The TV is like an old fashioned TV remote with only one. It's like 2 buttons on it. It's so great.
Oh, it's so good. It's basically like it's like edgier Flintstones. Like I'm the baby, gotta love me. Yeah, there it is. I'm not doing the whole song. I won't. I can't do it.
Big purple eyes. I'm very cuddly.
Yeah. So we've got him, and then we, of course, after we get this guy, you can't have Earl without baby. Not the mama Sinclair with his little dinosaurs. It is incredibly eerie how close they have gotten this. It is
so good.
So good.
I would love so the only downside to this is that I wish that baby Sinclair was a separate figure and came with the leftovers with his figure, the leftovers in the refrigerator.
His little monsters in the fridge.
Him and take him like that would be fantastic, but putting them as a 2-pack makes sense. And he's got the horn. The horn.
No, they are separate.
Oh, they are? I thought
they're separate.
I still stand by. I wish the leftovers came with Baby Sinclair.
That'd be cool. But yeah, they're about $42 a piece. Because even though Baby's smaller, he comes with a lot of stuff. Extra unicorn head, a Georgie plushie, which that's from that was the last aired episode, but not the actual infamous finale. It was the last episode that aired. But yeah,
the infamous finale never made it to. They cut that episode when
ABC wouldn't air it.
Yeah, when ABC took over the series and it became like a quote unquote Disney property, they cut 2 episodes. They cut the finale, and then they cut 1 episode in the middle where I believe the subject matter had to do with one of the characters having an affair or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the context was, but they cut 2 episodes out of the series. If anyone in the chat knows which episode it is, but they cut 2 episodes out. The episode in the middle that they cut had to do with Earl's best friend Roy, which if they're going to do Baby, I hope these sell excellently. I hope they do Baby. I hope they do the whole family. And I want Mr.
Richfield.
Richfield.
Sinclair, you get in here right now.
You're fired, Sinclair. I love you.
You're fired.
Fired.
Voiced by George. What's his name?
Oh, it's gone.
Jefferson himself.
Man,
Yes.
I may have to go back and watch this show again.
God,
it's ingenious.
It's been a long. I haven't seen the whole show, and it's been a long time since I've seen any of it.
So okay, so
yes,
this is the episode.
Robert,
I'm pretty sure
that's the episode. Yes, it was sexual harassment. That's what it was. Okay.
Yes, what sexual harassment?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I've seen
What
that
sexual
episode.
harassment? Yes.
Yes.
I've seen that episode because I used to watch them on VHS, not on TV, and so I've seen all of them because they were all on there. They didn't cut any of them out of the
Yeah.
VHS versions.
It was
So-
Sherman Hemsley.
Sherman
but,
Hemsley, yes, thank
Kaiju,
you.
Kaiju
Yes.
Kim just got it. Okay, never mind. I didn't even
But
see that.
yeah, I want to do real quick before we talk some more. Shout out to Jake Hambrick. He's saying he just
Jake.
jumped on for a minute.
Hey.
Say hi.
He's
Give a
a
shout out.
yeah, he's a Power Trip listener and a new MIFE patron. So thank you.
All right. But yeah, continue.
Anyway, yeah. So I
do hope they do the whole family.
want to see
At
I want to
least.
see both of the kids. I want to see Fran. I want to see Roy. I want to see Mr. Richfield. I want to see
Yes.
some of the little like if they do some of the little what's
Teddy.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Isn't it Teddy? Yeah. Oh man.
I want him to do
You
some of the
know-
little what's it creatures like Howard Hand Up Me.
Uh-huh.
the
Yes.
newscaster.
Yes.
No. I tell you what I
This
want.
is Howard Ham Dog.
NECA.
Howard
I
Hand Up.
pray to the NECA gods. Give me the professor and Timmy.
We're
They
gonna
Yes!
have a
need
little extra
we're gonna
Timmy
need
with
another
it.
Timmy. Can we get the grandma? We need the grandma.
Yes.
We
The
need-
grouchy
yes.
Yes,
You
Kim,
need
yes,
Ethel.
Yes. Yeah.
One of the
son-in-law.
one of the best episodes, if not one of the saddest episodes at the same time, is when a dinosaur gets too old, they're thrown into the volcano.
Right.
Oh,
And they're watching.
no.
They're watching footage of the hurling. They call it the hurling.
The hurling,
And
yes. What
Mr.
the-
Richfield is showing him showing Earl footage of when he. I remember when I hurled my grandma, my mother-in-law,
My mother-in-law.
right off the cliff. It's so horrible. I love this show so much.
It is
This
so
was
great. Now
convincing.
you're making me want to go and watch it. I'm gonna have
Oh,
to go
yeah.
watch
I've-
this
I
show.
think,
now.
isn't it on Disney Plus right now? I'm sure the whole
Yes.
thing's been released on DVD.
I
or
think it
something.
is.
It is
I
on
have the
Disney
DVD.
Plus because I have a DVD
DVD.
too. Because I
Yeah.
don't think Disney Plus would air those the sexual harassment.
I think
Um,
it's there, but it
episode.
has one of those content
Yeah, one
warning
has those little-
disclaimers on it.
Okay.
Disclaimers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I will
I never
say
watched it on Disney Plus. So I don't know.
we got to move on. I know that, but I just want to say like this show has both aged poorly and really well.
Yes.
It's aged poorly because of the context, like the cultural context, but it's aged really well because of the practical effects. The practical effects are beautiful still yet to this day.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah,
amazing.
they-
It's so great. If
I
you
mean,
wanna
Jim
get
Henson.
these-
Jim Henson stuff is timeless.
It's complete. I mean, I'm obsessed with Jim Henson stuff. I
Mhm.
love anything he
I
touched,
live in the
you know?
state that Jim Henson is from, so
Yes, that's
I can be
true.
proud. Jim Henson's from my home state.
That's amazing. So if anyone out there is as much a nerd for this show as we clearly are, head over to Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store. You can get these for about $42 a pop, and you should get them in hand by October.
Yeah.
Not such a bad deal.
They'll pair
will-
well with the TMNT original movie
Yeah.
NECA figures that they put out. So
This will
'cause
probably be a duo of figures.
Henson.
I'll ask my local comic book store to get in stock for me. My
Yeah.
I
have a
ordered
dealer.
mine already. I ordered mine
Yeah.
already. Can't wait to get them. And just as a sidebar, I still have my original. Was it Mattel? I think it was Mattel. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Is that right?
I think so.
Was it Mattel?
That
Like
sounds
I,
right.
I still have all the original ones that Mattel. Now Mattel didn't put out the whole line. The show got canceled before
Right.
Mattel could do the whole series. But I have those old figures as well. I cannot wait to get these updated versions. But yeah.
They're going to be great. They're going to be great.
Oh yeah. So Robert brings up a good point. Put Earl next to the NECA Godzilla figures and that'll
Yes.
scale up against them.
Godzilla is canon in the show. They do name drop
Yep.
him several times. So
Yep.
he's in there.
All right. Moving
Next, let's move on. We got some Gorgo updates here. With
Yes.
some really cool Gorgo updates. Titanic Creations Gorgo is looking good. This is the latest production images, well, prototype images, I should say, for the upcoming articulated 6-inch figure. We have belly paint, and we have eye paint, and we have teeth paint, and it looks great. You can really get a good sense for the sculpt and how the Dope Pope digital sculpt translates to the toy. This is already looking better than the prototype that was shown off at All Monsters Attack, which already looked great, but you can tell that obviously this version is bigger, which was something that they talked about there. The prototype that was printed for the show was
really small.
It was small, and that's not the production size. It's going to be 6
No.
inches, if not just a little bit bigger.
It was
And-
about 4 inches. Yeah.
Yeah, the
when
one-
we saw it when we
It was
saw it
tiny.
AMA, it was about 4 inches. Yeah.
Yeah. So this new one is bigger by about a head and a neck and a pinch. So what we're looking at here is kind of obviously this is not the finished version, but we're getting closer. They still need to paint the nails and all that good stuff. So
And I'm the only one on the panel here that actually has this on pre-order, right?
no, I have it. I got it coming.
No, Danny did.
Oh, okay.
Danny
I thought
did.
you were waiting for the bigger one. You were holding out for the bigger
No,
one.
I'm waiting.
Oh, well,
for
I
the
knew
bigger
you,
one.
but I thought Danny too.
Nope. I got the
pre-ordered it.
articulated figure. I got it.
Okay. Okay. Well,
I was
thought I
like-
was the only one.
I was like the
I got it.
9,997th order, but
Yeah, you were really close to the end. Yeah, it's
it was like I think I was messaging Michael beforehand. I was like, Michael, do I want this?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael was like,
Because
yes.
I don't do like I'm not a big figure person and everything, and yeah, that bigger one that Michael was holding out for, it does look really nice, but it's like this is more my speed because it's smaller, it can fit on my shelf and everything, and I do, so I went with it, and I really wanted to support Titanic Creations because Titanic Creations are awesome people. So
Yeah, Mac's wonderful. Go check out shameless self-promotion.
Shameless self-promotion.
Go check out our interview with Mac McClintock from a few months ago, right before this pre-order sale went live. Or no, it was
It's
right
on
after. Sorry, it was right after, Danny. That's right. That's right.
on our YouTube channel. So if you
It's
go
on
to our
our
YouTube
YouTube
channel, it'll be on there. You can check it out.
not much else to say about this one. Hey, we got new MMS figures coming out. Again, not a lot to say here, but we have a new Showa Gamera, we have a new Showa Gauss, and we have a new Batra Larva.
Gamera's looking clean ASF.
He's looking good. Like, it's a good sculpt.
Yes.
These will be available, just off the rack in Japan. You'll probably be able to pick these up from places like, I'm sure
Big Bad Toy
Show-
Store will have them.
Big Bad Toy Store,
Showcase
Kaiju.
Kaiju.
Our friends at Kaiju Live will probably have them. Showcase Like Kaiju will probably have them. If you're a Bandai
Sean Lincoln
vinyl
back,
collector, yep, Sean will have
Toko
them.
Toy Town will probably have them. Hey, Toko Toy Town,
Toy Town.
might have them.
It's
He
possible.
gets some of these things every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every now
So if you're again, not a lot to say here. I think they look great. If you're a Bandai vinyl collector like I am, these are cool.
Nerd.
This is good stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Bandai collector anymore. Hush, Elijah, anymore. But their Bandai Movie Monster series has gotten better. I'm the only one I'm worried about is the Batra Larva. I think the Batra Larva is going to wind up being too small.
He's
much
probably
like-
going to be
It's going to be too big.
much
Yeah, I
like
thought it
Super
would be too big.
I
much
think
like
his
Super
worm-
Mecha Godzilla.
I think his worm's going to be too big.
I think the bit and the worm's going to be too big.
And it's too
Anyway.
pokey.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Anyway, moving on.
Hey, we've got This is the last thing before we move on. It's time for Neo Player One X Godzilla. We have some new stuff coming. This is a Summer Wonder Festival figure that's coming out here, or a couple of figures. Like this, these are cool. These aren't necessarily things I collect, but look how beautiful they are.
They are.
Like this is really cool. So
This is very stylized, very, very stylized.
incredibly
This is-
stylized. I love the smoke effects. That's going to be cool. And again, these are going to be exclusive to Summer Wonder Fest in August. Obviously there are two different versions here, and there are a couple of other things coming
That's
out. Like,
adorable, but
it is adorable. We've got a little Hedorah. We've got a little Godzilla with a Mothra larva stuck to his tail. It's adorable. It's adorable. And if it's so adorable that you must have it, do be warned that considering this is a Summer Wonder Fest exclusive, these things are about as limited as possible. Like, imagine limited and then imagine it being more limited than that, and you almost have as limited as these will be. There are not going to be a lot of these.
You will be able to find them shortly. You will be able to find them after the show, probably on proxy sites like Buy, Zen Market, maybe Zen Market, maybe
for $11 billion.
Tenso is a good option. Now, you're right, Nathan. They will be more expensive than if you were at the actual show and bought them directly from the maker. which is going to be an issue because
I get that reference.
I do too.
I really want I really want one of these burning Godzillas. Because I love the little smoke effect. I think I'm gonna try to go after the orange one, because the orange one, if you look at the photo, I can't really show it here, but if you look at the photos closely, it's translucent and it's glittery. So pretty impressed by that.
I'm a sucker for a green Godzilla. Anytime they do green Godzilla, that's
the green heat map Godzilla. That's gonna be that's a really intriguing one too. I like the heat map style that they got going on with this one in particular. But these are going to be a little harder to grab. So just be prepared to pay.
This one's for you. Godzilla looks like the pink Godzilla looks like Godzilla minus the heart dorsal fins.
A little bit.
A little bit.
But
Shut up, Michael. You don't know what we're talking about.
No, I don't actually. You're right. I don't.
That's why I said Danny, because I knew Danny would get it. I know you don't know.
But
I know of
all,
it. I've never seen it.
But that's all for toys and collectibles. We can move on to Nathan Marchand's section now with comics and video games.
Comics and video games.
Excelsior, true believers.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
I got Excelsior.
No, let's leave it like this.
Let's stop it. Anyway, you kind of killed my vibe there. Anyway, I got two items here for you. One is a little bit of old news, because I think if it's from more than a week ago now, but it needs to be mentioned. IDW on June 23rd announced a new series called Kingdom Riders. And it is described as, this is why it's relevant to us, it is described as Hunger Games meets Pokemon. And if you look at the pictures of this thing,
which I will pull up in just a second.
Yeah, because I can't see the stream right now because I'm using my phone. The monsters in this are basically kaiju. There's even one that is a frog that looks eerily similar to the giant frog from the Magic Serpent. But our writer for this will be Shannon Eric Denton. The art and inks are by Marcus Toe. I hope I said that right. Colors by Luis Antonio Delgado. Letters by And World Design. And it will go on sale in May 2024. So we got a bit of a wait here, but they just announced it. And the description from IDW goes like this. To save her friend Mai from a life of debt and servitude, Kayla, alongside her trusty giant frog Grok, that makes me laugh there because
that would be this one in the center right here.
Yeah,
I can't
that's
tell
it. But the word
stream.
Right, but the name Grok is just funny to me because that's also a word made up by Robert Heinlein.
And it's Superman colored. It's red, blue, and yellow.
Yep. Enter the Kingdom Races, an epic, dangerous race that brings riders from all across the kingdom to race on behalf of their homes and their greatest wishes. Kayla will have to outrace some of the most experienced and dangerous riders in existence to save her friend's future. The beginning of a bold new fantasy world is here. And from what I was reading, they were saying that people who not only are fans of like Hunger Games or Pokemon, but they were saying like if you like fantasy stories, they were name dropping people like Tolkien. We'll see if it lives up to that hype, because you start comparing yourself to Tolkien, that's going to create certain expectations in my mind.
It did seem a little bit like they were just kind of throwing whatever buzzwords would get people's attention.
Right. So I'm a little iffy on that.
But at the same time, this artwork looks fantastic. I'm so interested in this Croc, in this alligator guy. Oh my goodness, he's so great. Oh, he might be my favorite one. Just looking at this, I love him.
Yep.
The pink chocobo looking thing back here in the back.
I know. I wish we had brought it up last week, but like I said, I was just catching up to see if I could find anything, because comic and video game news is a little slower than the rest of these. And then in some Power Ranger news, and Michael, you and I, we probably should go to our local shops and find this. I can't believe we didn't hear about this.
I have it pulled already, sir.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys didn't hear about it?
Then I need to go get it.
Yeah, you need to go. You're behind. I need to go. I have mine pulled already. Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew about this like.
Oh, I knew about
2
it, but I
weeks
didn't know it
ago.
was out.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had heard it was coming.
Yeah. So Power Rangers Unlimited, the coinless #1. Now, I feel like that's a little misleading because this is just a one shot. There's only going to be one, but okay. But it was released this past Wednesday, June 28th, and the quotations I pulled describing it from Boom Studios' website include lines like, "Witness the rise of the Draken Rangers in this special one-shot." Okay. And our summary goes like this, quote, "To celebrate the monumental 30th anniversary of the hugely influential Mighty Morphin Power Rangers franchise, writer Adam Cesare, I hope I said that right, Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal, and Mighty Morphin artist Moises Hidalgo of Dark Blood, along with colorist What?
Close enough.
Yeah. Along with colorist Arthur Hesley, Heavy Metal Magazine, and letterer Ed Dukeshire. Oh, we talked about him a few times in our comic reviews, Michael. From Irredeemable. Enter the grid this summer with a first look at Power Rangers Unlimited, the coinless #1, a new 40-page one-shot from Boom Studios. As if the medium-spanning fan-favorite villain Draken wasn't enough of a threat, Mistress Vile, a.k.a. Rita Repulsa, I might add, because she apparently inherited her daddy's title. Yep. Has special plans of her own, ones that bring the Rangers' greatest foe into our world. But this scheming isn't without consequences for Draken, and he'll have to take a page from Zordon's book if he wants the world of the coinless to survive.
So this is like what Nathan was saying, that this is kind of been described as the Draken Rangers, because Draken has put together his own team of Power Rangers from across his kind of, I won't even say his universe, because some of them are not from his universe, but they're almost like these anti-hero villains side of the Power Rangers universe that are now coming together to form a team of Rangers.
And I saw a review headline that said that Dark Spectre is basically Thanos in this.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So as far as the team is concerned, we've got Kimberly, the Ranger Slayer. You've got, and I forget her name, but the blue Omega Ranger, the one with the purple skin here.
Ari.
Yeah, she was the Omega Blue Ranger until she turned evil. Then you've got Trini from the Coinless universe. And then I can't remember who this character is, but then you've got Scorpina as I think the Red Ranger. I think Scorpina is the Red Ranger in this lineup.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. It reminds me of whenever you get, because and Nathan will follow me on this. When DC did their rebirth, they had the 3 Trinities, because you have the original Trinity of the DC universe, which is Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Then you had the evil versions of them, which was Lex Luthor, the Joker, and Cheetah, was the Dark Trinity. And you had this kind of the renegade anti-hero Trinity, which was Red Hood, not Solomon Grundy, what was it? Bizarro, and what's the other Amazonian woman who's Artemis? It was Artemis. Okay. Was the like renegade one. And that's what this is giving me vibes of. It's like they're not heroes, or they're almost like a Suicide Squad. You could almost put them in as like a Power Rangers Suicide Squad. They're the bad guys, but they're taking on a bigger threat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of comics I need to go pull because I still need to get Here There Be Dragons.
Yeah.
Here There Be Dragons.
Oh man, Here There Be Dragons. The covers. I mean, they just released another cover, or showed another cover for issue 4, and my goodness, those covers are just looking so good.
They do look really really good.
Yeah. Anyway, keep going. Or was there anything else?
No, that was all.
That was all.
All right. Well, then we can move on to our final segment, which is.
Do we know what time it is, kid? Do we know what time it is, kids?
Yeah, Oh.
I was hoping for Muppet
Yeah,
Gorgo.
Danny, he's not here with the puppet.
Do you know what time it
Muppet
is?
Gorgo. I have been denied Muppet Gorgo.
Hi, I'm back.
Hey, Muppet Gorgo.
What
needs to
time
tell
is
us
it,
what time
Danny?
it is?
Oh, do we want to do Muppet Gorgo? Okay, hang on.
Yes.
Let me get, all right, which Muppet should he be?
Well, just do what you were doing
Rudolph.
before, because he
Yeah,
needs
just
to
do
tell us what time it is.
Hi, kids. Do you know what time it is? Do you know? Well,
It's mailbag.
it's the mailbag. Mailbag! Mailbag!
Oh, great.
Mailbag!
Did Gorgo eat all the Muppets and absorb their personalities?
Mailbag, mailbag.
Anything's possible, Nathan.
So, as far as mailbag is concerned, though we do have Spiderus's question from that you guys covered last week that I didn't get to answer. Do you want to bring that up, Michael, and talk about that while I get the other one?
I do actually. I'm going to pull that question here because this was a little bit on the fly, as it were. On the fly. Got to what?
Well, I guess while you're doing that, I've got the other mailbag. So this isn't really a question as much as it is a comment on a recent video live stream that you and Nathan did of the power trip.
Oh boy.
You guys just did that live stream talking about the Beetleborgs and Power Rangers crossover comic. And somebody commented, it was Steven Jargiello 3735 commented saying Beetleborgs had the better theme song. So I wanted to see,
that is a hot take, sir. That is
Lies.
The
enough
Beetleborgs-
to spark
Actually,
Wasserman.
if we're talking about statistically speaking, Beetleborgs was beating Power Rangers by
yes,
viewers.
they mentioned that.
Yeah, that's
They mentioned
because
that
it was
on that.
it was contemporaneous with Turbo.
I think
Yeah.
it's just because
Well-
you're just jealous that.
Well, no,
that
we
Beetleborgs
well,
well, not
are-
we, but you
hang-
guys
hang-
did
hang on.
mention there was like 3 or 4 reasons that all kind of came together. It was the fact that Turbo and Zeo were not doing as well as Mighty Morphin, but
true.
also the violence that was in Power Rangers was getting to a lot of people, and there was a lot of pushback against the violence in Power Rangers, whereas Beetleborgs didn't have that violence. It was more
Well,
kid friendly.
Beetleborgs
was
leaned
sitcom-y.
Beetleborgs leaned into in more so into the kid friendly the kid friendly side. Now, Power Rangers attempted to do that with Turbo because Turbo arguably is the most lighthearted of those early seasons.
It
And
feels like they kind of was in response to how good that Beetleborgs did.
Yeah, a little
against
because
Zeo.
because Beetleborgs went head to head with Zeo, and then we get Turbo right after. So yeah, Beetleborgs did seem like a more like a response to other Saban programming at the time because we had Power Rangers Zeo, then Turbo, also VR Troopers was on at the same time, around the same time frame, and then Saban took a total left turn with Big Bad Beetleborgs, recontextualizing those Metal Hero shows that were, a lot darker in tone. But yeah, I watched a little bit of Beetleborgs in prep for that episode. And although a lot of it has not aged well, I do remember watching it as a kid and I actually did enjoy it.
Oh yeah,
Do I enjoy it?
I watched the whole
Do I
first
enjoy
season.
it now? Do I enjoy it now? Not really. But it was a fun
Duke is
trip
just
down
fun.
memory.
At least
I
for
liked
me.
it as a kid. I enjoyed it. I really
I
enjoyed it as a
am
kid.
Nukas.
But I was also just
Lucas.
anything within the
Lucas
that was
is the
Power
Dr.
Rangers
Doom
related.
of the Sabantoku world.
I am a
and it's
homicidal
funny-
triceratops.
It's funny
Who
that
calls his creator daddy? That's not weird at all.
That's what she said.
It's funny that the Metal
Continue,
Heroes shows that the Beetleborgs was based off of was kind of on the darker side, and they kind of contextualized them, made them more kid friendly, because the follow up to those series that Toei did are extremely kid friendly. They go way, way, way kid friendly. If anybody has anybody seen those series that they've done after the Kabuto series in Metal Heroes?
Oh, you're talking about like the cutesy robots?
Yeah, they're like the big chunky robots that that transform.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Are you talking about the Transformers?
No, Elijah. We're talking about.
I promised I wouldn't ban anybody from this stream. No, so I mean they're really. I've watched some of them. They're actually kind of fun, but they do lean more kid friendly. They are meant to be more kid friendly, but they are a lot of fun. But nobody knows what I'm talking about except for Robert. Robert knows what I'm talking about.
I haven't caught up on all my Metal Heroes. I am seriously behind on my Metal Heroes. Like,
well, I mean, you haven't seen the one with like he's like a cobra, but like his whole body is just a big cobra head.
I've seen the image. I just haven't seen the show.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. That's what it's from. It's from the follow up to what became Beetleborgs. It's the follow up to those series. So it's so funny that those went so kid friendly. Michael, do you have Spiderus's question?
All right.
No,
hang on. I couldn't find it to get the exact question, but I do remember the context.
We can tell you what it was.
I remember the context of the question. It was basically if they were going to put if you could write a MonsterVerse script for Ultraman, what would that script be?
Yeah, how would you introduce Ultraman into the MonsterVerse is how it was. And I think it was Danny maybe that was bringing it up last week, or maybe it was somebody else. No, you weren't on last week, were you?
I was here last week.
Yeah.
You were here last week. Okay. So I think you were the one that brought it up that the MonsterVerse has leaned into that kind of wacky, silly side of things a little bit more lately with Godzilla versus Kong and stuff. So the lightheartedness that comes from, or the innate weirdness that comes from Ultraman, kind of would fit, but they would have to recontextualize it a little bit more because they haven't like King Ghidorah was said like, oh, he comes from another world, he's not from Earth. That's as far as they went. They never went anywhere else with it. It's like we were very far away from getting aliens and everything in the MonsterVerse, but who knows. Shout out real quick to Brendan from Autistic Lizard Productions.
What's up, man?
Thanks for joining us. Little bit
cat appearance on stream had to happen.
Mine's nowhere to be found. I don't know where she went to. So
she got scared by Fozzie Gorgo. So she's hiding.
I like that even when my cat can't make an appearance, Michael can fill the quota for kitties.
Got at least one stream. Cat. What was I petting last time I grabbed something from around here and I started pretending to pet it because I didn't have a cat. What was that?
It was your newborn.
Yeah, it was my dinosaur. That's right.
Yeah,
it was my dinosaur.
Oh God,
I haven't painted him yet. He still needs to get painted.
That is why I use Super Sculpey gray instead of skin tone.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be this disturbing. So he really does need to be painted.
Because imagine if I had done this in the skin tone.
I'd rather not, Travis. Let's not go there.
I want to be able to sleep tonight. Anyway, we need to wrap things up.
We do.
Yeah. So no, I don't know how I would go about doing Ultraman, adding Ultraman into it, but I know that it would take some time. I think they would have to build up to it.
You're close to what I was gonna say. Robert.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah. The baby wasn't in there.
We should.
I can't show you guys any of my art, man. Come on, without somebody turning it into something weird.
We don't have to turn it into it. You already did that, Danny.
No. I really
Speaking
All
of
right.
weird,
Moving on.
why don't we start linking ourselves for the weird
Yes.
content that we create?
Yes. Start
Ooh,
doing this shameless self-promotion.
Shameless self-promotion.
Shameless self-promotion.
All right, Nathan.
Wait, who was
go
who was
ahead. You
Nathan
can be the
and
first.
who was Nathan and who was Michael there? I couldn't follow.
I was
couldn't tell
waiting
the
for Fozzie Gorgo to show up.
You couldn't tell the
No,
difference.
Nathan, come on,
Anyway,
come on.
Let's do it.
Nathan,
plugs.
shameless
Plug
self-promotion.
yourself,
Nathan, go.
Nathan.
Yeah,
Plug yourself.
Never again,
yeah.
Travis. Never again.
There you go.
Don't.
And check out the Monster Island Film Vault, The Power Trip, and Henshin Men. Read Kaiju Ramen magazine. You should. If you're watching the stream, you should. And check out my author website, nathanjsmarchand.com. And all the links to all the socials for all those are on those websites. Check out. And if you want to find the film vaults, go to monsterislandfilmvault.com. There
you go.
All right, Danny.
Hello there, everyone. I'm shaking up my voices now. We're going with a little bit of a Rolf impression, and I'm going to help out with all this here promotional stuff. So if you want to listen to some guy talk about monsters, tune into the show. You'll get 5 of them. That's all.
Anyway, I can't do that. My voice is going to get destroyed.
It sounds a little bit like either Waldorf or the other one.
Waldorf's a little bit older. You got to get
Yeah.
farther back of the throat to get at him sounding like a geezer. And then you got to, there you go. This is just Muppet. This is Muppet Ramen. Muppet Ramen. That's what this is now.
Anyway.
Ramen Muppets?
Ramen Muppets.
I'd watch that.
Anyway,
Yeah?
so all of that insanity aside, aside from me hanging out on these streams and causing trouble, I am.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Nice. Absolutely. I am the creator and author of the Godzilla Novelization Project, an ongoing insane endeavor to convert all of the Japanese Godzilla films into prose novels, which are being published serialized one chapter at a time. If that sounds like something you dig, head to GodzillaNovelizationProject.com and check out the books, check out the short stories, check out the the blogs, check out the spin-off timelines. Follow me on various social medias for project updates and really bad puns. I post a lot of those, kaiju news, things like that. If you really like what you see and you want to support my my personal writing and help me really, really like get research materials and get this thing, moving as fast as it can go and being as good as it can be, check out my Patreon. Just head to Patreon, type in Godzilla Novelization Project. You'll find me. I've been on this show a bunch of times. I've been on all the Kaiju Ramen media podcasts. I've been on Nate's show about 48,000 times. I'm all over the place. But yeah, that's about it. That's about it. Also, Record All Monsters. Thanks for the compliment. Thanks for the.
Oh, and
thank you.
Also check out the MIFE Patreon and definitely check out the Scyther Media. We should have talked about. They put out a new episode of the Power Ranger show a few weeks ago. Actually, the day we did a stream, I think. And so check out their Power Ranger show and the X-Men show for sure. Scyther Media.
Cannot wait for Rito to die. I'm waiting with bated breath.
All right, Michael.
Rito never dies.
Michael, plug yourself.
Michael's least favorite words.
So my co-host Nathan covered most of the stuff that I was going to say, but for if you love Power Ranger Super Sentai, the Power Trip is your #1 podcast for all of that stuff. We just recorded an episode. We referenced it earlier on the Big Bag Beetleborgs versus the Power Rangers Turbo comic. Thank you to Silverback, a faithful listener, for donating that issue to us so that we could talk about it. We have a car episode on Car Ranger coming up.
We're going to be recording that this week, actually.
Yep, featuring our friend Drew Dodgen of the Cellcast. The Cellcast, right? So he's going to be joining us for Car Ranger, and hopefully he will agree with me that Turbo is an actually watchable show.
Wow.
But
Wow.
outside of that, we all have a lot going on. So kaijuramenmedia.com is where you're gonna get all that information. We're all except for Travis, unfortunately, are going to be at G-Fest. So come say hi. And we would love to hang out with you and talk to you and just BS with you a little bit over some cool Godzilla stuff.
That's
So
called,
that's all I
BS
got.
is buy stuff in the dealer's room.
Buy stuff. Yeah.
That's what that
And
stands
panel.
for. Yes.
Yeah. And panel.
Right.
Elijah, plug yourself.
I don't have a plug. I'm sorry. I'm not a person. Wait, I am a person. I'm not a machine.
You are wait. Elijah is a machine confirmed.
Nathan, let Elijah give his plugs.
Hi, my name's Elijah. I'm the nuisance gremlin that possesses this podcast. If you want to find me, you just got to come here. Or you could go and listen to the Kaiju Conversation podcast, a podcast that covers the wide world of tokusatsu, not kaiju movies. I am not infringing on copyright.
Wow.
I'm not.
The cease and desist is in the mail.
Michael, you should stop looking at me that way.
All right.
I'm
Elijah,
sorry.
Come on. We're so close. So close.
You can find my podcast on any podcast platform, on any social media platform, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Most recently, we actually crossed over with Nathan's podcast, the Monster Island Film Vault, to cover Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I
a lot
haven't
of good
listened to
stuff.
that yet, but I really do want to listen and see what you guys think of that.
And
They'll
beyond
break your
that,
heart.
beyond that, you can find me on my own personal short film video production thing that I'm trying to do, ET13 Productions, on Instagram at ET13 Productions, or on Twitter at ET13 Productions. I do have a short film that's coming out titled SOS Seek Shelter, a kaiju-inspired short film that will be premiering at G-Fest and will be available on YouTube following the premiere at G-Fest in August. So if you want to check that out, go to ET13 Productions on YouTube and subscribe so you can watch that whenever it goes live.
Yes, and while you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to this channel because we are always producing more kaiju content. We've got all of these live streams. We do live podcasts like this one, The Power Trip, and other things, but we're also posting old episodes of our podcast like the Henshin Men, and we're going to get some older episodes of the Power Trip on there, and we're going to produce new content that we're going to put on the YouTube channel. So just basically, we're going to have a bunch of stuff, so make sure to subscribe, and so that you can always have your kaiju content available to you. Also, make sure to follow us on Twitter. We are at Kaiju_Ramen as a company, as a group, and you can follow me at Captain Travis 55 on Twitter for as long as Twitter stays around, and at
Twitter
Kaiju
ain't
Weekly,
going nowhere.
as at Kaiju Weekly is also where you can send in your questions to be read out on the mailbag. If you would like us to read something out, please do send us stuff because we're always looking for more mailbag questions to answer. But if you don't, we might be able to play some games if we ever have time again. Like the more I know, like we did
My
a couple
personal
weeks ago.
favorite is Guess the Bad Review.
Oh, I have some of those lined up. We might be doing that as a separate YouTube channel, YouTube video to post on the channel. So make sure to subscribe. And for everything to do with Kaiju Ramen Media and the magazine, check out kaijuramenmedia.com. We still have a few copies of issue 9 available. They're very limited. I think we only have 4 left now. So if you want to pick up one of the last 4 copies of our King Kong 90th anniversary special magazine, you can do that in printed form. You can do that at kaijuramenmedia.com. And issue 10 is in the works. We are working towards it, and we will be announcing that soon, probably around the time of G-Fest, because which is only a couple of weeks away. So we will be announcing yeah, we'll be announcing some stuff about issue 10 around that time. So anyway, that's it. And I think we can say, help control the giant monster population. Have your stuffed Gorgos spayed or neutered.
I was gonna say, have your stuffed squeaky hammers spayed or neutered.
Squeaky Ghidorah
That
hammers.
too. Goodbye, everybody.
Wait a minute, I protest. You can't do this to me. I won't go to the vets. I'm not allowed. Don't turn off the recording. Don't do it. Whatever